Hello everyone, and welcome to Swim or Sink 72. This is Vapor here on the mic with Dally, ready to bring us into these first matchups. First off, RIP Internet Explorer, unfortunate day for that, but let's get going into these matchups between Pizza Party and the Askers. Do you know any of these players right off the bat, Dally?
I'm pretty sure that I've seen Gem around. The names DLK, Baja Blast, they all sound familiar from any Askers. In fact, I actually do know Baja Blast. What's up, man, if you ever see this? Plus, I like the little GIF that they have going on.
Yeah. The text up there says Askers ? If I remember correctly, so hey, sometimes they gotta be asking. Starts off though, tower control on Starfish main stage for round 1.
I love my redundancy in just saying that there's only one thing in my mind and it's 2 words. You know what those 2 words are?
Stingray?
Yes!
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it should be known that like I always just want to see a Stingray or something unique like a ballpoint. You play those 2 weapons, you're either A, getting made fun of or getting called Chad.
True though, Stingray is really good, and on Starfish, this is also a pretty decent Splatling map. So Stingray plus Splatling, hey, you have your vanilla heavy Splatling to go with Sprinkler and the Stingray. What can go wrong? You could use Nautilus as well, Inkjet over Snipe, Inkjet over the window, help you get by that first and second checkpoint, basically for free.
Yep, I agree, and there's also Ballpoint, which the beacons can be useful in helping keep your teammates in the fight. Plus Ballpoint can do what I like to call a flank. Wait, that's not what I like to call it. I don't know how to describe it, because it's like something I have to show you.
Yeah, I mean, either way, let's get into this game. DLK, we saw them before. Stingray splatter scope. Artemis on the other side coming out with that splatter scope as well. And very quickly fight in for mid. Tent rushing up, but getting no progress. Very stalemate match here in the first 20 seconds.
Oh yeah, usually like these first few seconds of a match are usually going to be pretty stale for a while. But a pick on the Charger immediately, that is not very good on the side of Pizza Party. But look at that, Gem tearing up some amazing work with that stamp right there. Putting their team up 3 players, this is now their chance to start a counterattack, as long as they don't get picked off by Dino.
Gem using that Tent Umbrella, pairing up with Pizza Squid on the Tri-Slosher, trying to take out Baja Blast on the Tetras, both going down. Flip Blue versus Pizza Squid, they're on that left side, and Artemis here watching that tower, finding a nice pick onto Ace. Stingray ready, but there is an opposing Stingray on the side of the Pizza Party ready to go.
Yeah, that's true, and look at that, the Tetris successfully, well, I guess kinda successfully performing a flank, picking off the Charger at the cost of their own life. Sometimes it's worth it. Take out a valuable player and then, bite the dust.
And that pick did lead up to 2 more members of any Askers going down. So it is Pizza Party on the offensive now, going 1 down on each side. And the Tetra is getting picked off as well for the side of Pizza Party. 1 jumping out. This is going to be the end to this push. And just touching that first checkpoint, not much to get out of this early. But there is still 3 minutes left of this game. Stingray coming out for Pizza Party, and the flank from the Tetras, finding 1 going down to that Tri-Slosher though, but 3 down on each side. 1v1 Charger versus this Tri-Slosher. Pizza Squid on this tower.
Yeah, I was not expecting that sort of 3v3, but look at that Charger and a very nice pick. I think they were left side peeking, which... Yeah, that's left side peeking.
Yeah, you don't see it too often with scope, but there is a Stingray for any Askers ready to go, or not any Askers, Pizza Party ready to go. Any Askers on this tower making their move. But with one down on each side, armor ready for any askers. Here comes 10 the missiles. They are going to try to get past this first checkpoint. Going halfway through it, Stingray comes out. First checkpoint dropping in favor of any askers, 2 down on each side. Baja Blast looking down this right side lane area, going into the opponent's pit. Trying to find a pick onto the 10 umbrella, unable to find that, but finds one onto Radish on the splash, plus another on the Tri-Slosher, going in even further as Lit Blue on this tower, just rushing through that second checkpoint in a breeze.
Yeah, any Asters basically just got the snowball right now. Like, the whole, like, first few minutes were just them going through, like, a neutral phase, and now that any Askers got, like, the picks necessary to start a push, they're already at 1. It's just Dino Lizardkid making the right move to jump out, and Pizza Party's got an incredible push ahead of them if they're able to do it. Like, they need to play that perfectly if they want to win this match.
And all of the skirmishing that the Tetris did just allowed that one push to open up for any askers. Radish finding a pick onto those Tetras, and getting a pick onto those Tetras is going to be key for Pizza Party. Keep the Tetras in front of you as much as possible, especially having a 10th umbrella. Use that bomb rush, use that hammer, use your Stingray, clear out space, but you can't do that if you end up going 2 down, and who else would be there other than those Tetras?
Yeah, Baja Blast is definitely making me want a Baja Blast. I mean, look at them go with all the shmovin they're doing. A pick on the Charger. They're doing a pretty good... They've been doing an amazing job, like you said, just sneaking around and getting the picks or trades.
And coming up with one almost every single time too. Unfortunately, not this time though, going down to that Neo Splash. But we are heading into these last 20 seconds. Stingray coming out from Pizza Party. Bomb Rush from Radish. This is going to be pretty close, but they need to set up on that snipe area and get control of the opponent's plat. But who else but the Tetras? Just, they're ready to go, finding 2 picks. Artemis on this tower. This is the final push for Pizza Party. And with all the members of any askers just collapsing, 2 down for Pizza Party, that is a full wipe, and any askers running away with game 1 after a really good neutral early on.
Yeah, that neutral that they held for like a few minutes, for like the first 3 minutes, like... Honestly, I wish that's how I could play the game more often. But you know what? They were able to capitalize on any advantages that they saw after they won neutral to get that push to 1. Like, that is amazing. And those Tetras, flawless gameplay. They were really making it hard for Pizza Party to really do much of anything.
Yeah. And again, I talked about the Tetras a bit. You are saying that the Tetras did a lot, and they definitely did. It's going to come even more clutch here on Rainmaker Sniper Canal. There are multiple different paths, so you have to keep an eye out. We could see the Rainmaker push on that left side. Tetris rush up through street and go in for a flank, as all 3 other members are on that left side just holding their ground, waiting for the Tetris to go behind them.
Yeah, but I'm more like wondering, like, who's gonna go for Pop? Because, you know, Pop is not very good on this map. Like, you don't even get very much... I don't think you get any pain out of it.
I think you get maybe 10 points, but not much.
Yeah, like, Pop's not gonna be useful. So I'm gonna be expecting, like, quite a bit of fighting early on, or just some early specials, like Ink Armor, of course.
One thing I want to see to try to counter those Tetras, though, would be control of the hills. Just control the hills, you have the chance to stop a push on the right side if you have control of that. You can create a push if you control the left side, and even collapse together, get control of your opponent's street, make a strong push through there. Even going around that back door on the sneaky, as you see the block on that right hill over there. But it's going to be really interesting what we see come out here. Tintabrella and Charger both coming out from Pizza Party. Tetras coming right back out, though.
Yep, and like I said, it seems like people are gonna be. Looks like these guys are going for not the early pop. Well, I guess this charger is. I think that charger wedged themselves in a very unfavorable position because they basically got pinned by a ton of bombs and a shooter. But things look to be pretty good for any askers early on. They've already obtained 2 picks. Actually, they made a pizza party down to where it's just their anchor, trying to get a pick. They got a pretty good pick on the missiles, but they still got to hold neutral.
Yeah, and such a neutral game, but look at those Tetras! They're always right there, able to find at least one every single time, picking up this Rainmaker, going through the street, getting picked off by that K-Shot, 2 members going down for any askers. But this is still a really neutral game here in the first minute. Stingray ready, but what a shot by DLK, finding a pick onto Artemis, 2 down on Pizza Party, and this Tensabrella is just holding this left side. We are going to see a push up through this street by Lip Blue. Stingray coming out from DLK.
Yeah, Stingray is an amazing special to help assist pushes on this map. As a C-Jet main, that's like the kind of use of Stingray I like to see.
Pushing it all the way down to 13 before getting shut down though. And the Rainmaker going off on its own, getting picked off as well. But they do get it away from their spawn a little bit. Artemis going in for a little bit of peeking action here, unable to find a pick onto the opposing charger though. And with 3 specials ready, we could see a push come out at any time. But with the ink armor from any askers, it's going to be really rough unless they find a few picks.
Yep, and look at that. Tetra's running in. They got 2 right there. 2 picks right there. This is the chance for any askers to go for a finishing push. They just got popped. Once picked up, the Tetras are in position to distract. This is a good chance for them to make something happen. And look at that right there. They're already up 3. The Stingray has been pulled out, and it looks like it's a delayed wipe and a knockout.
Lit Blue grabbing that Rainmaker, pushing with their team as we were talking about in the pregame. Baja Blast on those Tetras. They could go up through street as everyone else pushes down that left side, and that is exactly what they did. Baja Blast got up into their opponent's snipe, was a distraction for most of that game. Lit Blue and the other member of any askers just pushed up that left side as the Stingray from DLK came out and assisted them on that push.
Yeah. And we're also moving on to our last map of the set, which is Clam Blitz on the Reef. This is notably smaller than Snapper Canal, but I think that those Tetras are definitely going to have a very, very fun time running around everywhere. You're not going to want to find one of that. You're sneaky, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be very dangerous for the opposing team if you find a really strong skirmisher in your car area, basically right under your spawn. So just getting there is going to be crucial for Baja Blast if they stay on Tetras, but any skirmisher in general is going to be dangerous. Clam Blitz on the Reef, I do like to call this a really neutral map mode combination. I'd say, personally, even above Mako Mart. So, just finding control early on is going to be key here.
Yep, and there's going to be a lot of contestation for that. Excuse me. There's also going to be a lot of contesting for that bridge, because bridge is one of those areas they're going to want to hold, regardless of if you have a backline or not.
Yeah, backline on bridge is very scary, to say the least. But let's head right into this game. Clam Blitz on the Reef. We see all those clams holding that bridge. Allows you to basically have all of the map economy. You can control those trees just by dropping down. But hey, we see those clams. Let's see what comes out here. Gem on that Tentabrella, Artemis on that Hydra Splatling, going up against that Firefin. But Baja Blast already going in for a flank, finding 1 pick before going down to that Hydra.
Yeah, that early off pick on that. I can't even remember what happened. Like, I just coughed and suddenly they're already up 2. The Hydra's dead, the Tri-Slosher's dead. It looks like Dino Lizard King is preparing to build a clam. Like, this is awesome. And
Yeah.
you know how I said that you wanted to get control of bridge pretty early on? Well, any Askers got control of bridge. They already have Dino set up there.
Yeah, and with the bomb rush ready, could just open up a push at any time. Ace popping a few of these missiles out, Tentabella getting taken down, and a skirmish below bridge, but look who comes out on top. That is Radish from Pizza Party with some help. And just like that, a possible push is just stopped right there. Power Clam down for any Askers, and Pizza Party has control of this clam economy underneath. Baja Blast finding one though, and just staying alive too. Having Ace as their teammate to help out, finding another. That is the Hydra trying to shut them down. But any Askers already has a lot of control back, even going 2 down.
Yeah, but they also need to have a pretty good clam economy. They seem to have enough clams to make a sizable push. The Tetris falling down might slow that down a little bit, but you know, it seems like they might have been able to get something there, but I think they kind of fumbled that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it is Clambless after all. Things go uphill, things go downhill. Which team has the better special and team coordination? 2 members going down to that Tri-Slosher 2v2 on the field. Try and Junior, last one's up for Pizza Party. But the Try is just up in their face, finding another pick. DLK being the last person alive, as everyone else from any Asker comes in from that respawn. But 9 clams for Pizza Squid, 15 in total for Pizza Party, and just finding a few picks. They find one there on Baja Blast on the Tetras, which is really crucial. You just want to keep those Tetras out, but with these double power clams, we could see a big push coming out from Pizza Party.
Yep, and I saw Bubbles and a tent shield. This is looking to go all the way up to 60 and maybe more. They just have to get in some clams right now. The tent's preparing to go in. They probably should have dropped shield just to be sure. But no! Pizza Party gets wiped at 51.
That tent, yes, should have popped shield, but if they did end up popping that shield, they wouldn't have time to get the clam into the basket. So good heads up call by that tent there, just getting those few extra points in. 2 power clams will not take the lead now for any Askers, so this needs to be a really good coordinated push here from any Askers to take this lead right back. DLK finding one onto that Tri-Slosher. Bomb rush coming out. 2 members down, 3 down on the side of Pizza Party. DLK going in for those points. And already taking that lead, 32 points remaining for any Askers. DLK out in that car area, which is almost as scary as a skirmisher being there. Could basically get one shot. Hydra can't really peek out easily. Finding one. Those Tetras are coming around that back door. Lip Blue right under that basket. That's 3 down. Super jump coming in. That is actually going to be game with that super jump being just in range to throw that pity clamor right in that basket. Any Askers taking this 3-0 victory here in round 1.
Yep. And to be honest, that was also a 100-0 knockout push. Like, I'd be lying, but I kind of had a thought that, like, okay, so I know any Askers pretty well. I think that they're going to be able to turn this around pretty easily. Or quickly. Like, I knew that they were going to take lead. But the knockout is just nice. Like, they stayed very well coordinated. They got pushed once. They're like, okay, guys, let's recuperate, make another planned push, and take lead. And they did. And they also got the knockout.
Any Askers just needed to get set up. They needed to get up into that car area. We saw Baja Blast and DLK up there at one point, and they just locked that down, didn't allow anyone from Pizza Party to get up there. So really good play there by any Askers, my bad.
And
so with that though, before we go off into round 2, let's call in a few ads. Low Inc is a 2-day Splatoon 2 tournament for newer and lower level teams. Its goal is to give teams a chance to get into the tournament scene and to gain valuable competitive experience. Its format has a focus on bringing games close to your team's skill level so you can meet teams and get practice against. You can learn more about LOINK at our website at loink.iplabs.inc. You can also type !LI in the chat to get that link as well. So hey, LOINK, it's a really good tournament, highly recommended. Play in it.
And with that, we will be taking a short break, and we will see you for SOS Round 2.
Welcome back, everyone, to Swim or Sink number 72. This is Vapor here on the mic, back again with Dally, bringing you guys around 2 here with Ink Reapers going up against Squid Killers.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if I know any of these. Really know much about these. I mean, the most familiar name I'm actually seeing is Miko, which I think they might be midpoint staff. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. That's on.
If I remember correctly, I think Ink Reapers won low ink in the past, and Squid Killers won LSL in the past. I may be wrong about that, but I am pretty sure those are some pretty quality results either way. Starting us off here, Splat Zones on Inkblock Art Academy. As an Explosion player, I definitely love this stage. But Dally, what do you think we can expect here?
Everything generic. I'm not sure too much about these people, so I'm more expecting like some generic comp that involves like the average K shot ends at 52 gal. You know the idea. Your basic support, or the average slayers, maybe an anchor if we're lucky, or something unusual like a slosher.
Honestly,
I wouldn't say slosher is unusual.
Slosher, Roller, both of those weapons are pretty good on this stage. Like, you just sit right under that ledge, under your opponent's plat, and just flick on top. You can basically snag the ankles of people right across that ledge, and even hit over that block as we see right in the middle of that screen. But Inkblock Art Academy Splat Zones, and we see the Explo come out. Thank you, and Kunder from this Ink Reapers team.
Yeah, I think Ink Reapers is looking pretty familiar, because I think I am pretty familiar with Miko. But yes, you are right. The nice, interesting double slosher comp with Slosher and X-Slosher. And of course the minion Kunder pick. Surprisingly, Sorella is not playing Sorella undercover though, but look at that. Squid Killers are very quick to take control of the zone and put Inky Reapers down 3 players immediately.
Yeah, already up onto the Ink Reapers plat, missiles getting popped, and just staggering the members of Ink Reapers to going down to missiles from this mini splatling here. Expo, last one alive, and rushing them down is this mini splatling. Not much going on here, other than an unfortunate DC on the side of Squid Killers. It looks like everyone is stopping here. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a replay. But either way, we're going to see the same comps because this game started. We're going to see the same comps and a drip pick. But I am interested to see what this undercover can do with that torpedo combo. Use torpedoes, mark people out, and it can even help out that splash. Like double burst bombs really pair up well with Rella's. And undercover Rella, it doesn't do the most damage, but it still has a decent amount of pain. It has the marking capabilities with that torpedo, and paired up with those burst bombs can be very scary and very dangerous.
Yeah, that torpedo on Kunder is definitely like a match made in heaven, especially when it has ink on it. Like, the whole kit is very good at keeping that shield alive via assists. I used to be a Kunder main. In fact, I kind of miss it. Even though I only one-tricked it on tower control.
Kunder is very fun to use, but I'm very interested in this Explosher though. I play Explosher for my life basically, but hey, pair up the Explosher with the Soda Slosher as we saw. Burst bombs it with the Explosion shot just shred people.
Yeah, they definitely do have a lot of combo potential right there. X-Slosher indirect with that Slosher direct hit, like, that's a match made in heaven. But I think that X-Slosher needs to push up a little bit more, because I noticed that they were hanging back.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one way to find out and see what they do here. Let's head into this replay match. All teams sticking with their same comps, but Slosher going down quickly, armor online for Squid Killers, and Ink Reaper's taking a quick control of the zone, but an unfortunate DC. This cannot be a replay, as they already used it in this set.
Yeah, that is definitely not a good thing. Also, how did that torpedo not get killed? That was in like an indirect radius. But regardless, look at that. Ink Reapers are already in their spawn and just... they're harassing them.
Yeah, and we can see how good Burst Bombs plus this torpedo is. Like, just throwing that torpedo, marking people, and once you see that mark come out, throw Burst Bomb that direction, probably get at least an indirect off of that. People will try to take down those torpedoes very quickly. And with that mini up into the spawn of the Squid Killers, it's going to be hard to get them out. Finding two members there, they need to go after this zone. It's only the Kunder, and it's not able to get neutralized. Ink Reapers taking a quick one here, 100-0 here in round 2. So with that, we can see how strong that torpedo plus burst bomb combo is, but we just need to hope for no more disconnects, and maybe we could see that mini come out, or even other Splatlings come out here on Tower Control Manta Maria. So having a Booyah Bomb even, we could see a heavy remix K-Pro. We saw a K-52 out on the field, throwing that Booyah Bomb on the checkpoints, or even getting control of your opponent's snipe can be very dangerous, and you don't want someone to get into your spawn, especially when you get to that second checkpoint, where getting that checkpoint is basically a hit or miss.
I know about that checkpoint. That second checkpoint can always be a pain to defend sometimes. Because I remember sometimes just staying in like the lower areas, just throwing bombs at it and nothing happening. Or trying to go for that fall-off kill, which I do not advise that. Throwing bombs.
I mean, we could definitely see that Soda Slosher come out here. Talking about fall-off, it doesn't really have much fall-off damage, so you could just use that slosh to your advantage, slosh right over that wall, free 70 if you get a hit on that, plus like Splat Bomb indirect, or even if you have Burst Rush ready, you could get on top of that bunker and just launch bombs, launch sloshes, and that second checkpoint is going to be really hard to contest for the opposing team.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand like the whole idea that you're trying to paint with the sloshers. I'm like, my mind's kind of drifting away to you know what. Yeah, I mean, you're not even saying anything, so you're not even saying what it is, but I already know you know what it is.
Yeah. And
should we say it?
I mean, we have some time here on our hands, so.
Stingray! The #1 special in the game to hard stop anything you want, because you have way too much control. You can do it from afar.
Yeah, and that's another thing that could be really strong with Booyah Bomb, or even the Burst Rush from the Soda Slosher. If we see that come back out again, just get that Soda on top of that block above that second checkpoint, and you could just chuck Burst Bombs at that Stingray. If you have a Booyah Bomb weapon, chuck a Booyah Bomb at them and misplace them. They can't go into spawn shield. this isn't a previous patch of Splatoon, so you can't really go into spawn shield while using a Stingray, so you have to purely avoid it basically while you're in your spawn and you have limited movement options.
Yeah, it used to be like, I remember... I'm sure you kind of play like backline with Xbox, but have you ever had to experience that moment where you just know someone's going to throw a special at you? Like, you just know that there's going to be a Booyah Bomb flying at you, or you just know someone's going to try to chuck a bomb at you.
All the time. I've been struggling with that recently, but still, you could basically tell other people and how they play, especially later on in a set, or even late on into a singular game if you don't know the person already. It does seem like we are going to have some time here, so let's take a quick stop and talk about Riptide. It is going to be a LAN event happening September 9th through 11th at the Kalahari Resort in Sandusky, Ohio. You can play some Splatoon, watch Smash Brothers, Rivals, and many other games over at the Kalahari. Go down to some water slides or even the arcade. Have some fun with your friends. This is going to be the first Splatoon 3 event happening on the day of release. So I'm definitely excited. You guys should watch out for that. But the main event is going to be Splatoon 2 on Saturday and Sunday. Sign up for today. And for those who cannot make the event, it'll be streamed right here on IPL Splatoon Twitch channel. If you guys are interested in Riptide, you can type in !Riptide in the chat. Like,
What's up?
Riptide is going to be exciting, though. Don't you agree, Dally?
I'm not going to be going, so I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be experiencing it or not. All I know is that I'm going to be home doing something else, enjoying Splatoon 3 and watching Cobra Kai with my dad. I'm not kidding. Cobra Kai Season 5 actually comes out on the same day as Splatoon 3.
Oh wow!
So, like, I'm really excited for September 9th.
Yeah, like
Maybe for a different reason. Unfortunately, it's not for Riptide. But hey, if you're going, I'll be sure to say hello and stream.
Yeah, like stream's going to be excited. If you're able to go, feel free to head over to the Kalahari. Sign up if you haven't already, if you are financially able to. But we are getting confirmation. We have our members back in the lobby. So more about Tower Control Manta Maria here in game number 2 of our round 2. This is still going to be like very strong sloshers, splatlings in general. Even blasters can be really strong on the stage.
Sloshers can basically just shoot over ledges, around ledges, on blasters and their hitbox radius is always like the most annoying thing ever. But you know what? I'm not expecting a blaster. I really don't think any people on these teams really play blaster. Slusher, yes, I'm expecting.
I mean, we can maybe see a blaster. Maybe one of them has it in their back pocket, but hey, can't count out the unexpected. Let's head here into Game 2, Manta Maria, see what we actually have. Tri-Slosher Explo, Mini Splatling coming right back out, and a Tanatech Octoshot coming out from the side of Ink Reapers. Didn't talk much about it, but Inkjet over the snipe, over that second checkpoint, can be very crucial, just keeping the members off that tower.
Yeah, I get that. Inkjet is like one of the specials I like to play with. I did try doing some experimentations with Vanilla Ballpoint on this map, just to try out that Inkjet strat. And right now it looks like we gotta stop talking about that, because Ink Reapers is already starting off on the offensive look at that. Teamwork makes the dream work, taking out the X-Bosher in a 3v1.
Yeah, you use your numbers to your advantage, as they say. Zooming past that first checkpoint is Ink Reapers, and Squid Killer's just stuck in this corner, missiles ready, but with 3 members down, it's only that missile user K-Shot stuck over in the corner, getting collapsed on with that tower moving right to them. Even more members. Second checkpoint going down. Third checkpoint on its way. Ink Reapers using that inkjet, shutting everything down. Third checkpoint has dropped in their favor, but it's going to be Squid Killers moving in, finding a pick onto 1. Jumps coming in, but that is going to be 2 down for Squid Killers, and unable to get on that tower. Ink Reapers just running away with a quick knockout here on Tower Control Manta Maria.
Yeah, that was a very quick match by the Ink Reapers. They really snowballed it in on the Squid Killers. But we still have one more match, because it is not a best of 3. It is a play all 3.
Yeah.
The Squid Killer still has a chance to get on the board. And it's on Rainmaker Sturgeon Shipyard. So, what do you think about this, man? Like, tell me a little bit about your thoughts.
I mean, we talked about it before, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a Stingray. That upper left push area is very scary to push down. If you have a Stingray on the opposing team, it basically shuts that push in one swipe. So it's going to be really, really scary if your opponents have a Stingray ready to go. But that sponge is a little bit more risky to make a push through, but hey, it can still be done if there's a wipe on the other team.
I think they're taking a while to get things a bit set up for some reason. Wait, I'm going against the rules of talking about that. Excuse me.
I mean,
what is it?
Hey,
I am going to agree with you on like that Stingray thing, because this Stingray can entirely shut down a push in the correct usage.
And with that pedestal just being out, like right out of range of some weapons from the opponent's spawn, it's going to be a little bit rough to get there. But at the same time, it could be a very easy stop if you know what you're doing well. Just keep an eye on that right side push, though. It's a bit slower, but a bit more safer to make that push. So, but you also have to keep in mind, though, missiles, inkjet, we saw those come out earlier, and they can really open up a push. Missiles move people out of the way. Inkjet, work with those missiles, get some chip damage. Maybe missiles can take one out. Maybe the inkjet, have someone follow up with that inkjet and missiles, work together as a team. It's going to be very crazy on what we see. Let's head into this game, though. Ink Reapers pulling out that Kunder once more.
You know, I really like the Kunder pick, because you don't see Kunder very often, and that is one of my favorite weapons to kind of watch. But
yeah.
We aren't seeing... Oh wait, we are seeing one Stingray, and it is the heavy Splatling from Squid Killers. However, they still got quite a bit of work to do. I can't... Oh my lord. Looks like the Ink Reapers are up very early, and they're going to start a push on the left. But this doesn't seem like they're able to get the correct footing to, make it there.
Yeah, bombs coming out, Stingray's coming out here. And as we did say, it can just shut down the push in one fell swoop, taking a quick pick onto that Rainmaker Bomb Rush, ready to go for Squid Killers. The Rainmaker is not really in a good spot for Ink Reapers to pick back up. Burst Rush combos well with that Stingray, and we were talking about how good Stingray can be paired up with chip damage comms before before the stream started. So, and we could basically see how that works here. If Squid Killers is able to work strongly around it. Stingray ready to go. Suction Rush ready to go. Armor is up in favor of Squid Killers with the Cave Gal coming out of spawn for the Ink Reapers. We can see a push come out here at any moment. Missiles from Ink Reapers going to slow down Squid Killers though.
Yeah, and you know, that push to 61, while it might be a okay lead at first, but you're definitely going to want to push more than that in given time. And look at that, Ink Reapers is making a good effort to get the picks necessary to start a push. And that they are doing right now. They have a Booyah Bomb, the Stinger is being popped out, I think, very prematurely by the Squid Killers, and a triple by the 52 Gal.
The Stingray
this is a good chance.
The Booyah Bomb finding 2 members there, plus a trade, and that's going to slow down Squid Killers from coming back in here, but who else other than Ellipse just finishing that Rainmaker off, slowing Ink Reapers down, unable to get any more points on the board.
Yeah, that was a very, very good display of how sloshers can be used. Attacking over the ledges to stop that Rainmaker, which was a very, very good plan from the get-go. And it was very much just them. And that slosher doing their best to try to pin down the members that are members of the Ink Reapers, but it doesn't look to be plausible, and it's just the Stingray. It's going to be popped prematurely, probably. But no, the Stingray is down. It means that they have to rely on just themselves to stop it, and that they're able to do it. But this Inkjet is raining massive havoc.
The Inkjet just shutting the members of Squid Killers down like nothing. The Squids game killed themselves, but hey, this Octoshot just holding that right side, but on the other side, it's the Rainmaker moving all the way up to 11. That is a really good lead for Ink Reapers here. Ellipse getting taken out as well, so this push might not be over. Look at this Octoshot just chilling here. If they win this 1v1, it can be really scary for Squid Killers.
Yeah, but oh, and they do. I actually, for a moment, thought that something might have cracked at the moment. But no, looks like they're able to get the Rainmaker, and they're able to finish it off for a knockout. Good attempt to try to stop it by... I couldn't tell who was trying to stop it. But that is 3-0 for the Ink Reapers.
That 1v1 win for that Octoshot was huge. Just keeping another member of Squid Killers down and pushing up with their team. They saw the slosher drop, so that's another member not to worry about. You have to worry about what's in front of you. They also had a teammate up in that left area, which we saw in the original push come out of. But just getting someone out there to help your Rainmaker player push up to that pedestal can be very strong and very dangerous. And we definitely saw that, like, Shot winning a 1v1, one person out of play. I'm pretty sure another was coming out of respawn, as we saw there at the very end. So there is not much you can do about that. So, hey, really good play by Ink Reapers there.
Yeah, that definitely was a very good decision by Ink Reapers to make the decision to knock it out while they had that opportunity. Even if their pushes at first were a little bit fumbled, they got the knockout because they were able to, get the pushes.
Yeah.
And with that, we will be taking a short break, and we will see you guys for round 3. Unless we have do we have another advertisement to talk about? Paper?
Yeah. Let's run another quick ad here, and let's hear about something happening this Friday, being Friday Night Frenzy, week number 3. It's going to kick off at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, featuring some of the most exciting teams in low-level Splatoon. Hey, if they're exciting, you don't want to miss it, am I right? Be sure to tune in to Splatoon Tourney Twitch channel to catch all the action at twitch.tv/Splatoon Tourney. And just looking at these teams here, Shiver Me Inklings against Aquatic Vanguard, those are two strong teams in their own right, and just seeing them drop a game is going to be something to look for. New Horizon 2-0 currently in this season, going up against Inked, but you see it. You see the times on this graphic. Which teams are you excited to watch out for, Dally?
What teams am I excited to watch out for? Well, this is actually the first time I've heard of Friday Night Frenzy. So, and I'm not too familiar with low level anymore, but I think I've heard of the Jelly Squids before.
Yeah, Jelly Squids has been doing well lately, and we see that they're 1-1. So, hey, what could go wrong with that? Let's see what we have next up, though, because our round 3 match is ready to go here in a few moments. But who do we have coming up here for round 3?
Well, we had Friday night, and it looks like we have some LOONA Stans. Hell of a boss, am I right? You know, I've been enjoying that. Oh hey, I'm actually very familiar with these people: Storm, Cactus, Kelpter, and Nico Chico.
Hey, is it really hurricane season right now? Okay, so I'm getting notice from a bird in my ear saying that it is actually currently hurricane season, so I am not disappointed with this team name.
Well, lucky for me, I am not in a state that has to deal with hurricanes, though I kind of wonder what it would be like to have to kind of worry about that sort of thing. I don't know. Probably not good for what I'm used to.
I mean, don't try out what you're not used to, especially if it works out, unless you really want to try it out. Let's start.
I want to try Grim Range.
Hey, maybe it can work out for you at some point. But let's get started here in a few moments. Macamart Clambliss is going to be our first stage, though. We see Macamart being a community favorite and competitive. What's your take here, Dally?
I think it's a pretty alright map. I mean, this map, I think it gives whenever I play with people, I think it gives our, aggressive players a good chance at dealing with each other. Meanwhile, I get to sit back, watch them out. Since my range is more effective because the map is smaller, I can just sit back and watch my fall-off just fall on someone. Or spam the missiles. I don't know.
I mean, hey, spamming missiles, that sounds like meta to me. But getting wiped on Clambliss Mako is just scary. After you get wiped, your opponents are basically going to be already in your spawn ready to pick you off right after you drop down. So you don't want to get wiped on this stage. Explosher coming out, Blob from Nico Chico. So, hey, we have some slosher action. I'm not disappointed. Squeezer coming out from Cactus.
Ayo, but here's the nice thing. Blob versus X-Slosher, and I guess Blob doesn't exist anymore, so it's more like a X-Slosher versus the world kind of situation. But look at that, Storm with a massive W.
Yeah, Storm finding one, Kaiza picking off Storm. Here, missiles are ready to go, plus the baller for the X-Slosher. So, missiles coming out here, calling out to their teammates, and see what's going on here. Explode pushing up, Mini pushing up as well with them. Work as a team here, what a play, finding teamwork on that Blobber. And another one stuck here in mid, that's 2 down on the side of Hurricane Season. And it stands ready to go. They're building up this power clan, but what else other than Bubbles just shutting down the push with one swipe?
Yeah, Bubbles are a major threat that they can shut down anything immediately. And look at that, a beautiful delay triple by Cactus. them already. And look at that, Hurricane Season makes the first score of the match, keeping themselves up 2 players. And they're also doing a good job filling in that basket already, putting it to 50 already, which is a very good opening. There's 44 now.
Yeah, all
41.
the way below 45, and it could go very much lower as well. Getting a wipe on the stage, I did say it's very crucial or critical to your team, because you can basically be up it into your opponent's spawn. But the same thing goes for not getting a wipe. If you don't get a wipe, what can you really do to break out if there's no one really to help make a push? Kai'Sa putting in a clam there, but going down very quickly. Sleepy trying to go around this left side with a teammate, getting a few more clams in. They're looking to get this lead, and they definitely will get this lead. Going under 40 remaining, power clam jump, not going in that basket. It is going to be Sleepy recovering, throwing it in. 12 points remaining, but that is 3 down on the side of Hurricane Season. Last one being left alone in mid. That's Kelp finding the pick onto the Explosher, and almost finding the pick onto Q, but alright, Q is end up going down there. But this is actually huge for LOONA Stans right now. They got a huge push, 45 points of penalty, 9 points remaining. And they did not get fully wiped. They have control of mid that is being contested, but it is very dangerous, and they haven't lost a step here.
Yeah, like, and look at that. Look at that pick that Sleepy got on Cactus is actually pretty crucial if they're gonna make another push, but I don't know. It seems like both teams are kind of falling uneven in terms of numbers. There's someone dropping to take out, the Squeezer dropping to take out Sleepy, the end zap.
Like, this is very neutral right now, but with one jumping out, Mini getting taken out as well. This can be a really dangerous Hurricane Season, throwing in a few clams. Bomb rush coming out from Nico, getting a few more points into that basket. Junior going down on the side of Stans. But with 3 members down on Hurricane Season, that push is going to come to a close, and Stans is ready to go and make a fight happen here.
Yes, and they already have, like, I think they have 2 specials ready. 3 specials, I mean, ready. Like, this is perfect push material. Pop the inkjet, pop the missile, pop the armor. That's how you start a push. And they're Kaiser's slaying right there as a mini Splatling, getting an amazing triple. And the Hurricane Season has been wiped. Whoa.
Oof. Getting wiped on Nakamart means almost guaranteed death, and we saw Hurricane Season get wiped a lot that game. They had one or two pretty decent pushes, but all Stans needs is one really strong push and to not get wiped. They do end up getting the knockout on that game though, so hats off to Stans there. Hurricane Season just needs to play together a bit more. Let's not get completely wiped, especially here on Piranha Pit Splat Zones. So this is a really flat stage, and we said this multiple times earlier today. Stingray. It might not be the best for objective-wise, but one Stingray, just sweep it across the stage, and you could get a lot of chip damage off. It is very flat.
I have the most mischievous grin ever that you might compare me to Bruno to. We don't talk about him, by the way. But you know what? I am 100% supporting your description, because that is exactly why I play Stingray on the stage. Though I'd rather play it on Clam Blitz, I would argue that Stingray on this stage, as a whole, is just... You don't even want to play the game anymore. In fact, you just want to play Stingray. You want to kill the Stingray now. Well, try and kill me. I welcome you to do it. But I don't think any of these teams are really going to bust it out. I'm expecting a Blob versus Explosher match again.
Hey, I would be fine for that. But another good weapon for spot zones on Piranha Pit, if we do expect to see that X-Blosher come back, would be that vanilla X-Blosher. Those bubbles, even though they're not easy to pop with the main weapon, having your team help you pop them, or even just throw them by one of the drops and zone out your opponents. Like, just zone out that area. What can they do against bubbles that are not popped? Shoot them down? Well, just shoot them right back. Keep them up. And if you pop them, get a kill, amazing. We don't see the bubble explode nor a stingray. But hey, we see 10 missiles come out from Nico Chico on that vanilla Jet Squelcher.
Yeah, if I may be honest, I wasn't expecting Nico to play a vanilla Jet Squelcher. They're normally a Bloblobber main. But either way, that still is a very strong pick for that map because the weapons paint everywhere.
Yeah.
Safely and effectively. Kelp getting a trade early on is also pretty good right there.
Kaisa building up those missiles, baller coming out from the X-Blosher, using it to stay alive, apply some pressure onto the opposing zone. Neutralized zone right now, but it's going to be Kaisa finding a pick, 2 down on each side, and missiles coming out. Zone going back and forth in neutral, but hey, it's going to be Hurricane Season coming out here and just taking some picks onto this zone. Cactus dropping down on this right side. Bubbles ready. Here comes those bubbles paired up with Storm. They find that Splash-O-Matic, and it's going to be Armor coming out from Stans, forcing them to back up. Hurricane Season has control of this zone.
Yep, and they are certainly doing a good job pressuring that right area. Which is good because there's like 2 people there. Someone died there as well, being the X-Washer. And I know on this map you have to get a really solid lockout just to obtain any points. Because it's very easy to maintain neutral in the stage. So your lockouts have to be really good. Nico getting picked off by the I guess the X-Washer got picked off themselves too.
Oh, Cactus finding another pick there. Make that another. I'm pretty sure that's a triple right there. Going in for the last. Getting picked off by that Junior Explo coming out of that spawn, neutralizing this zone. But keep an eye on Kelp. Having that paint ready to go on Junior, just almost infinite paint. You have a huge ink tank, and Armor can just chug right out Kaisa on this mini though. Can't underestimate the paint of mini or the slaying power, finding a pick onto Cactus there. And just look at all this pressure. Burst bombs, X-Blosher shots, forcing that member of Hurricane Season to jump out. And Stans has control of this zone. They are starting to control this lockout, but all the range, all the bombs from Hurricane Season is going to hold them the lead just a little bit longer before this zone gets neutralized right back. Okay, Stans finally takes the lead here, finding a trade there, 2 down on the side of Hurricane Season. But if Hurricane Season just keeps this zone neutral, just stall for your team to get back in, it might still be very dangerous for Stans.
Well, yeah, and right now it looks like the Stans are doing an amazing job at retaining their lead. They're taking away neutral game really easily, and it seems like the Hurricane Season is on a desperate need to make something happen, but falling down to your 2 aggressive players is not the way to do it. The LOONA Stans have a very, very strong lockout against the Hurricane Season. I guess they might be the first people to defy nature.
Explode just all of this paint onto the zone, just holding it in their advantage, plus the chip power, and if you can hit a 90 and just work with your team, look at that teamwork right there, finding it Nico. And this is forced Hurricane Season to rush this zone. Not enough time, not enough killing power or paint to even neutralize it. That is going to be LOONA Stans taking this game.
Yeah, that was a very, very good. I think that the Hurricane Season could have retained that if they had maintained a more secure lockout. Because it's like I said, in this map you want to have a very good lockout, and the LOONA Stans had a better lockout.
you want to get at least 3 down to be comfortable. If you could get the full wipe, that's even better. Paint up, build up your specials. LOONA Stans were just able to do that so much better and held the zone as long as they needed to. But hey, we're heading to Tower Control Alley. This is your favorite mode, at least. And what can you say other than Stingray?
Custom Jet Squelcher.
Oh, okay. Okay. You got me there. You got me there. But
Yeah, you wanted me to say something, so I'll tell you the true meaning of Stingray. I'm just kidding. I mean, I like to play ballpoint on the stage.
Yeah.
Because the vanilla one's got Inkjet, which you could use to hop onto that high area that all Inkjets hop onto. Then you got the Inkstorm, which with some experimenting with my new team, we've done double Inkstorm on this stage, and that is pretty painful to deal with. It's kind of I like this map a lot more than I used to. And it looks like we have 2 Jet Squelchers, except I'm not going to call you the name I want you to, because I'm nice.
Nico Chico using that C-Jet though, so we do see a Stingray on the field. Quick armor coming out from Sleepy, applying quick pressure onto Hurricane Season. And right away, already building for another armor. Stingray coming out, keeping pressure onto a stance here. And with that Jet Squelcher going down, this Squeezer getting picked off as well by Sleepy. That is 3 down on the side of Hurricane Season. Let's get a push going. Last one jumping out. And look at this plot. It is all in that orange color, ready to go in favor of Stans.
Yeah, this is definitely not a very good situation for Hurricane Season to be in. But you know what? It's also an amazing time for Ray to just stall out the push for a little bit. Buy a little bit of time to help the team recuperate. And with LOONA Stans already making that second checkpoint, yeah, they might want to do something pretty quickly. And that they were able to do.
The Bubble's finding one, which is really crucial. A team able to move in, find another Q, forced to back up off of this, all the way back to their fan, just trying to hold mid as much as they can. But that is a really good pick by Hurricane Season, stopping that push for now. And that second checkpoint, just holding it in your favor, is crucial. That second checkpoint is a really snowball-heavy point of this map.
Yep. And already at the first checkpoint, Hurricane Season is making their amazing counterattack. They're already up 1 player, which is something, but I don't think they're quite positioned to really push, if that makes sense.
I mean, they did get that first checkpoint after all. 1 checkpoint per push. You should be in the clear. And the Cactus just holding those bubbles. Missiles coming out. Getting rushed down in this corner. Stingray coming out. That's going to be Q on the C-Tech, finding the pick onto the Squeezer, though. And just ready to go. Here comes that Inkjet, paired up with those Tenon missiles. They can do a lot of chip damage. Nico going down. Effective trade there on the field. 3v3. And all the way up to the second checkpoint. That is going to be Cactus getting on, stopping this push for now, paired up with Kelp.
Yeah, Hurricane Season has definitely been doing a pretty good job defending. Now they have to do another good job offending. The Cactus is taking control of the fan, which is a pretty good place to start taking control. Stingray has popped up. Bubbles are now dropped as well. 1 kill with the bubbles. What more can you ask for? Another pick on the juniors.
Almost finding the pick onto the Jet Squelcher on top. But remember, they did get past that first checkpoint. They don't have to go through another checkpoint penalty at that point. Missiles coming out onto this tower, forcing Nico off. And that's going to be Sleepy dropping down. 2 members down on Hurricane Season, 1 coming out of spawn. Kelp on this wall, just sharking, trying to find a pick onto Stans here, and gets picked off while trying to jump out. Sleepy just painting up for another armor here, and with 1 member down on the side of Hurricane Season, they need to find a way to just build their specials, push back into mid, and somehow find a way to get on their plat. We've seen it before, but can they do it again?
Well, I know that they can if they're able to do it. They just have to become more... They just have to be truly secure. Make sure no one is able to stop the tower. However, it looks like they're getting pushed back quite a lot themselves. They're able to at least get a pick on the junior to stop armor for a little bit, but they still need to make that push. Make that the mini spot link as well. Someone jumped out. And now's a pretty good time for them to start getting control of the plat, like you're saying. Like, with enough bombs there, they should be able to get past that checkpoint.
Hopefully, and there's only one way to find out. We are heading into the last 30 seconds of this match. Stingray coming out, Inkjet coming out, but the Inkjet does end up getting picked off. That is Kelp on tower alone. There is no help for Kelp getting picked off there. And with 2 members down on the side of Hurricane Season, I'm pretty sure one of them's coming out spawn. Here comes a few jump-ins. Storm getting picked off by Sleepy, and Sleepy is just rushing the opposing plat. All the jump-ins coming in from Hurricane Season, but they need to find this tower. Sleepy getting picked off. 5 seconds and counting. Nico going in for this tower, but they get on in time. That is huge for Hurricane Season, staying on for a few more moments, and that is 3 down. Kelp being last one, getting picked off, full wipe, and LOONA Stans running away with this 3-0 sweep here in Swim or Sink 72.
Yeah, that was just an amazing defense that the LOONA Stans had to put up. They were able to stop numerous pushes by Hurricane Season. But, Hurricane Season definitely did a good job, getting their pushes and pushing them.
Yeah.
It's a miracle what one snowball can do for someone,
And that was still a really neutral game. Like, just getting to that second checkpoint was huge. It's just, could they really get past that second checkpoint was the main issue. But before we head off for Top Cut here in a few moments, let's talk about From the Ink Up being a low-level bi-weekly tournament on Friday nights, aimed for teams around Division 6 through 9. They're back with their 15th week this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Teams will play 3 rounds of Swiss into a Top Cut, and there's going to be a banner art prize for the winner of the tournament, plus winner cards, which are posted in their Discord and Twitter. So that is going to be really exciting to look out for. If you are interested, you could join their Discord at discord.io/FromTheInkUp.
Oh yeah, this is also like my first time hearing about this. I must not pay attention to tournaments as much as I thought. I mean, I know I pay attention to the Sendu bot, but man, I must be living under a rock, man.
I mean, a lot of low-level tournaments to look out for, but this is your friendly reminder that this Sunday is Father's Day, so don't forget to get your gift, say Happy Father's Day to your father, and so much more. Be welcome to be here, and we welcome you, and thank you guys for watching Swim or Sink number 72. We'll be right back with Top Cut here in a few moments. Welcome back, everyone, to Swim or Sink number 72. We are here ready for your top 8 Great White bracket between Rats for Life and 1, 2, 3. This is...
I think we did something wrong here, man.
What happened?
Okay, so I am Dally, and this is
Wait.
my bud Vapor, and I think we, as commentators / staff, did something wrong, because it should be 1, 2, 3, Rats for Life!
Oh?
What?
Okay. Okay. It is a 1, 2, 3 versus a Rats for Life. So, just a little bit of technical difficulties here with the graphic, but it'll be back up here shortly. But we have Rat 1, Rat 2, Rat 3, Rat 4, and Rat 5 on the Rats for Life roster.
Hey, we fixed it! That's nice. now it makes more sense, because it's like 1, 2, 3. Ratas por la vida!
Oh my goodness.
Please excuse my terrible Spanish. I don't think I said that right.
Oh,
I'm confident in my pronunciation. I mean, it's more like how it flows in Spanish.
Alright,
Anyways,
and
we are starting things off in a best of 5 with Rainmaker Manta Maria as our first map. I'm sure Vapor knows my thoughts on what I was gonna say, but you know what? What about you, man? What are you gonna say?
hey, I personally just think this is such a fast-paced map. Tri-Slosher is a really good option. Stingray just for stopping pushes in general. But for the viewers, 1, 2, 3 is a JP pickup team. So this is going to be really interesting seeing these two teams finding it out. Rat 1, Rat 2, Rat 3, and Rat 4 going up against 1, 2, 3. This might get confusing really quickly with names and teams.
I think the most difficult thing I think I'd have trouble remembering is just which rat is which rat.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I'm very excited to know that there is a custom jet sculptor in the lobby. And they're immediately going to town with early Ray.
Yeah, finding one pick early, and that is going to be Doragon on the junior going down. So, early on here, really neutral first place on the board is to 1, 2, 3, but Rat 3 trying to find a pick on the C-Tech, unable to capitalize. Ko is going to find 2 people there, but this is going to be a really quick push if this Inkjet can come out really quickly and do some damage, taking one onto Rat 3 and possibly even more.
Yeah, that was definitely a good Inkjet, but that Bamboozler just really did not like that. Which, honestly, I probably wouldn't have liked that either. But Rat 1 popping the jet, trying to get a pick on. I guess they do. They got a one pick, but their jet point has been caught.
Yeah, and with that K-Shot taking out the Inkjet user, sharking on their opponent's bunker. This can be really dangerous, especially with someone on your bunker just ready to go, ready to fight at all times. Missiles out here applying even more pressure. Have a trade in the street of Rats for Life here. But with 3 going down, it's only going to be this K-Shot. Unable to find anyone right now, just dancing around. 10 missiles on them. Oh my, can they come up with 1? No, they can't. That's going to be Rat 2 finishing them off, popping that armor, grabbing that Rainmaker. We are going to see a quick push here from Rats for Life.
Yep, they already went through like the, I can't remember the area. They took the jump, and that nice little jump of fate brought them the lead of 37. But at the cost of falling 3 down, which probably isn't exactly the best thing, but you know, it's something. Now they just have to play defense.
37 isn't a bad push, but they weren't able to drop far into that pit area. If they were able to get into the pit, they would have been able to have a really solid lead here. But this is going to be Koa here, finding Rat 3, going in after this Bamboozler, but meeting another, there is no one else to take out. Rainmaker is alone right now. Inkjet getting taken out by Rat 1. But this splash on from behind, finding one pick, going in for the Rainmaker, popping that jet, but there is not enough time to take them out. Doragon bringing it all the way out up to 16 remaining. Last one for 1-2-3 is coming out of spawn. So, hey, that is a really good wipe, but a huge lead for 1-2-3.
Yeah, that is. I agree. That is a big lead to take. And now the Rats for Life, they have to do something to capitalize and take back that lead. However, they have a few obstacles to get past. Our favorite good boy, Stingray. And a shit ton of bombs.
Rat 1 popping Inkjet, getting some help to take out 1. And going through this cut area, armor coming out for 1-2-3, but going down to a bomb. That is going to be 2 members of Rats for Life there. And the coat rushing in, almost finding Rat 4, but the jump ins, just keeping the pressure. Rainmaker finding 2! Third one going down in the opponent's street. That is going to be a full wipe onto Rats for Life. And this is the time for 1-2-3 to make their push. Count it up. They are moving down this left side.
Yeah, 1-2-3 is definitely doing a right play. They're making a push to stall out for time. They even have the Rainmaker wedged in a kind of unfavorable area for Rats for Life to really pick from. Right now, after this sort of thing, I'd be more concerned about getting that Stingray set up. Well, the Stingray set up, but I would have not popped it up right now and then. The last 3 seconds is not a good thing. Why am I critiquing these players? They're probably better than me. But hey, it looks like they're doing gonna try to make a push, but Rat number 4 is stopping it.
That is going to be 3 down on the field. They need to pick up this Rainmaker, which they do. So this is going to be the final push in overtime. Going to be Rat 2 picking up that Rainmaker. So they need to, so Rats for Life need to find these picks and clear out where they want to push. All these bombs are going to be scary. You don't want that C-Jet to have Stingray. And they take out the C-Jet. That is going to be huge. But they go down 2 down themselves. Rat 2 pushing this Rainmaker, but they almost get the lead shut down just short. That is going to be 1-2-3. Stealing this win here in your top 8, game number 1.
Yeah, that was definitely a very, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I think that they might have gotten a little bit too impatient with making that last push. As for the Rats, but they definitely did a good job. They got an early lead, a fairly early lead actually. It's just they kind of lost off at the end. Or a little defense falter. But we will also be moving on to Climb Blitz on Humpback Pump Track. Tri-Slusher reigns supreme, because I know you're talking about Tri-Slusher for Rainmaker Mountain Maria. Now this is a Tri-Slusher map, you know?
I wouldn't just say Tri-Slosher, I would say all Slosher. Like, you have Tri, it has a lot of sideways range, I guess you would say, with its 3 sloshes. You have Soda Slosher. Burst Rush can be really deadly. Use the geometry to your advantage. Explosher, though. I want to see Doragon on that Explosher. Like, even though they were on Junior last game, I really want to see that Explosher come out here. So let's get into this game. Climb Blitz on Humpback Pump Track, and I'm interested to see what happens here. Jet Squelcher coming out. Doragon sticking on that Junior. No Explosher coming out on each side. But we did talk about Tri-Slosher a bit, and we do see that vanilla Tri-Slosher double armor for 1-2-3.
Yep, and nice to see that there are 2 V-Jet Squelchers in the chat. I very much support this and like that attempt to get fall off. We're going to be seeing missiles flying high. Man, picks like that on 52 goals are very, very much appreciated. Good job, Rat 4.
Finding a really good pick, as you did say. Power Clam ready for Rats for Life. getting some points into that basket. But it's going to be activating this Carbon Roller and K-Shot for Rats for Life to be very strong. Carbon Roller being a main slayer needs a lot of paint to work with, so keep an eye out for that Junior and Tri-Slosher as they could put an extensive amount of paint down for 1, 2, 3 here. And especially on this map, but that's going to be a Rat 4 finding a pick onto that Jet Sculpture. It's only the Junior and Tri-Slosher try getting picked off. Junior a little bit out of play, passing clams, and no one has a power clam here for Rats for Life. But finally, a Rat 1 building that up and getting shut down with burst bombs. Jesus, man.
Yeah, man, you were right about... I know you were talking about Burst Bomb Rush, but Burst Bombs as a whole were a pretty good idea as well. I mean, they just instantly stop you. You just get hit and damage.
Yeah, it's something, that's for sure. Dorgon having this power claim ready, going in for the points. And with 3 down on the field, Rat 1 being the last one stuck in the corner, taking 1v1 with Dorgon. That's going to be a delayed wipe for in favor of 1, 2, 3, taking that lead there and trying to stay alive. Everyone's up on the field, power claim jump, unable to score, but from the side, that's going to be a few more points, all the way down to 41. And the Tri-Slosher is staying up here with another jump. And all these points are going in. 3 down on the side of Rats for Life. And Koa is just there, ready to go. Has that splash wall as well for protection. More clams going in. Under 20 points remaining. That is 3 down. It's only the Jet Sculpture. They get wiped. And this can be game. All the clams going into the basket. And 1, 2, 3. Taking game 2.
Yeah, that was an amazing push right there by 1, 2, 3 on Rats for Life. They quite literally said that they wanted that victory. They kept it going. I saw that, I know that their Tri-Slosher was just in the spawn, very annoyingly keeping back the members of Rats for Life. And everyone else doing a splendid job keeping the clam basket flowing and also helping out the Tri-Slosher. You know, attacking over those ledges. Like, that's amazing. And now we're going to be moving on to match point for 1, 2, 3. And Rats for Life chance for a reverse sweep. Splat zones on the reef.
Yeah. This is going to be a stage, that's for sure. Paint heavy, get control of bridge. You basically have control of zone. So just finding that bridge in general is going to be huge for either team, actually. Getting control of trees is nice, but getting control of that bridge allows you to drop onto the trees, and you could take zone right from the bridge. What could go wrong there? So let's get into this game here. Splat zones on the reef. We have 1, 2, 3 against Rats for Life. Carbon coming right back out. Bamboozler on Rat 4, but the Soda Slosher. We talked about Slosher earlier. We saw the try on Humpback, but Soda. Look at all this possible geometry on the reef to make that worthwhile. 2 members of Rats for Life going down quickly, with another going down to missiles. That is 3 down. Last one forced to back all the way up, and 1, 2, 3 just already full control here in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's amazing at what you could do with some very early picks, as well as a potentially early special.
Suction rush.
And 1, 2, 3, 4 is definitely doing a good job maintaining their lockout. Even though right now things are neutral, they were able to get the early lockout and lead. Unfortunately, they got a penalty applied of 30, and this is the chance for the Rats to start doing something. But they are now have to be the ones who have to get this lockout.
One jump out, two ends up going down. The last one getting staggered out. That is going to be the Junior being taken out there. So 1, 2, 3 is going to have a hard time pushing back in here. No armor for them, but they need to work together with their specials. Here comes that Booyah Bomb. Suction Rush from Rats for Life. going to throw that Booyah Bomb onto the zone, gets to neutral, but the Soda Slosher does end up going down. That is going to be extremely crucial here, and with Ko finding one, the Carbon able to pick them off though, and getting another. This might not be end for Rats for Life, as the Rats are getting awakened, finally allowed to escape from that cat.
Yep, and a very good trade right there by the Carbon Deco to take out the Jet Squelch, which means no miss. The zones is in control of the Rat's life. They just need to keep this zone painted for in neutral for as long, so that way they don't get the penalty and they can take the knockout. They're doing a good job maintaining one, but can they get this one? No, their painters are out. And the 1, 2, 3 is still in for it.
1, 2, 3 just running right back in, like, just like cats, just trying to bite out the Rats, that's for sure. But going 2 down though, going to be very dangerous. Missiles out, 2 members down on the side of Rats for Life as 1, 2, 3 comes in from that respawn. They are holding this zone, 3 down on Rats for Life. Bamboo, last one, finally getting picked off. But that is a stagger for Rats for Life, and this penalty is over, pushing under 30 points remaining for 1, 2, 3. There is not much time remaining. Carbon has that Ink Storm ready. Here it goes. Auto bombs, just suction bombs in general, going out to the zone, getting that neutral. Doragon getting picked off, 2 down on the side of 1, 2, 3, and Rat 1 painting up this zone, and they finally get the cap, stopping the bleeding for now, applying a 58-point penalty to 1, 2, 3.
Yep, but however, the Rats have also a large, hefty penalty to deal with. But they might be able to eat through that fairly quickly enough and get through the knockout. They're able to get the proper lockout. They need to make sure that one of those zones is painted a little bit better, which I'm sure that they will. But look at that, that Splash found a pretty good place to chill out for a little bit, just until they could find a pick. But 1, 2, 3 is now in control of the zone. I'm not sure if that position is gonna mean much. For now, I'm not sure if they're still holding.
Suction Rush and Armor ready to go for Rats for Life here. Booyah Bomb for Ko here on 1, 2, 3. Missiles coming out here as well. So is that Ink Storm. Here comes this Booyah Bomb. All specials have been used by Rats for Life, and they do get the flip. That is huge, applying another massive penalty to 1, 2, 3. 2 members going down, but that just keeps them alive a little bit longer, and there's only 45 seconds left of this game. Rats for Life need to find a way to get in, break through the Slosher, which is right under that ledge. Gotta keep an eye out for those missiles on the Jet Sculpture as well. Jumps coming in.
Ooh,
from the back door. The Carbon from the back door gets picked off. 10, 9, we are going down to the final seconds. That is a neutral. 1 point takes the lead here, but the Jet Sculpture finding a trade.
Jet Sculpture got
and
it.
They take
And
the
they got the lead.
Oh my god. 1, 2, 3 coming back from what could have been a just straight up knockout from Rats for Life. Just able to find a way to stagger them and just lock it down. Jet Sculpture just holding that top mid. Armors, missiles, Booyah Bombs. What else could go more in their favor? Especially in that back half.
Yeah, like, that was an amazing comeback. Like, I knew that there was going to be something to end by a knockout, but that comeback, man, like, I was really rooting for Rats to come back with the reverse sweep. But, oh well. A very well-deserved 3-0 by 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, like, that was a game, that's for sure. But, hey, I'm pretty sure this is the end for us, Dally, before we hand it off to 2 amazing commentators you guys want to stay tuned for. But where can the viewers go find you at, Dally?
So you can find me at pretty much at almost any social media at @Foxition. And by that, I mean any kind of social media you could think of. Even Clash of Clans.
Oh my goodness. Hey, you play Clash a lot, obviously.
No,
but...
I Clash Royale in Brawl Stars.
Alright. You guys can find me over at V4P0R_SPL on Twitter and Twitch. But that's going to be it for us. Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of your top cut. Milena and the Berry coming up shortly. Stay tuned.
Good evening and welcome on back to Swim or Sink 72, brought to you by IPL Splatoon. I'm the Barry and I'm joined today by my wonderful friend Milana. Mel, how you doing today?
Doing all right, Barry. Just excited to watch some good Splatoon action tonight. We are in our top 4 of swim. I always say sink or swim. Swim or sink 72, I believe. And we will be watching a match between Nawal Gaming and Rising Wave, both incredible teams. I want to say they're both Western teams, but they're not American, correct?
That is correct. If I'm not mistaken, Nawal is made up of primarily Mexican players, and Rising Wave is made up of perhaps Central American, but certainly some South American players as well. Morsa perhaps being one of the most recognizable of the bunch, going back to the days on Prophecy. Some may remember. Should be a fantastic match to see between the two in this semi-final matchup, as some would say, as opposed to top 4. But but we will be moving on into it. It, of course, is another best of 5. And if I'm not mistaken, we're starting out on Clam Blitz Piranha Pit. Mel, how do you feel about this map?
I think in the idea of Clam Blitz Piranha Pit really appeals to me. It's a very straightforward kind of map. It's just one shot from one end, one basket to the other. But in actuality and practicality, it's not like my favorite thing to play. So, you know, but I know for you that it is a fan favorite.
Well, Piranha Pit is just one of the most ideal maps for any Bamboozler player out there, of course. Not guaranteed we will be seeing a Bamboo coming out from either of these teams, but I would expect some range, as it's kind of necessary to make some entryway on this map. That said, it can be difficult to push back in with that range. You're gonna find yourself kind of struggling to make it over that left side where you so frequently push in on zones. However, on Clam Blitz, you kind of get a little bit feasted upon.
A little bit. So, Barry, I do have a question.
Yes, Mel.
How many missiles do you think we'll see in this next round right here?
Rough estimate, I would say 2 sets of missiles from each team. Could be just 1, but I would wager. I'm saying we see 3.5 missilers.
What's a half missiler? What does that mean?
I'm making up for whether it's both teams running 2 missiles or just one team running 2 missiles.
Okay, so you're covering all of your bases. We love to see it.
Right, and we will go ahead.
I would think that at least if we see some missiles here, that we'd at least see one jet squelcher. You know, it kind of plays to that range that you were talking about earlier, and it builds those missiles really, really quickly. So.
And it also has Toxic Mist, which is a fan favorite. Certain fans more so than others, but fantastic for area denial and really slowing down any sort of pushes. While this map doesn't have quite as many choke points as some other Clam Blitz maps out there, it can still be crucial to be able to dissuade any attackers from pushing on in with clams or football just by throwing out 1 sub.
Yes, and certainly. So let's see what we will see. Let's see what we'll get in this first round as we get started right here on Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit.
Yes, and we'll be seeing what we see in just a second here. Do you see what you like to see, Mel?
I see some things that I didn't expect to see. Honestly, I don't think I see any missiles.
I see 1. It's only Morsa's mini. Yeah, but I would have expected perhaps a K-shot to come out, certainly from either of these teams, and yet they've preferred double armor on the side of Nawal and double splatling on the side of Rising Wave, which is actually a really strong combination of weapons to run together. It can just become a little bit difficult against all of these shooters that they're going to be encountering, shooters and sloshers for that matter, as we see Chomper getting a beautiful splashdown cancel there before getting traded out by one of Cam's bombs. The junior's so good at just rolling a little bomb underneath your feet.
For sure. And, you know, I just kind of wanted to mention that you were talking a little bit about having a little bit of range on Piranha Pit, but neither of these comps really demonstrate that kind of versatility. So we'll see which of these teams are able to kind of carry it through with this shorter range comp.
Yeah, and you'd have to favor, I think, Rising Wave a little bit in terms of what they can do with their range. That spot lane and that mini should be able to challenge just about everything. But of course, if you let Alex swim right up to you like that with the Tri-Slosher, well, you're not going to live for too long. Chomper with a beautiful jump on in there to Alex to score that football, and they're already breaking through past that lead and then some.
Yeah, Rising Wave is going to have to play this one really carefully. This is probably the most dangerous part of playing Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit, that you have to kind of be careful of those drops and make sure that you play it safe and let that clamp basket kind of go back up before you make big plays to kind of move forward.
Yeah, and they did a really good job of that as well, not really ever going more than 1 or 2 down at a time, and in that situation, you kind of live with only giving up 41 points. It does seem like a lot right now, but this is such an easy map to counter push back on, and with 2 down on the side of Nawal already, make that 3. This should be an easy enough push if they can just find some clamps.
Yeah, so, you know, you want to make sure that you have enough clams to make a significant push. They only have 10 points as a penalty, which is going to be kind of, an easy pick. But that bomb really kind of unfortunate for Rising Wave. And kind of gives Nawal Gaming another opportunity to make that push before Rising Wave was able to get their push off.
And that's an advertisement for quick super jump if I've ever seen one. But already we see Nawal Gaming coming back here and taking back a lot of map control. Even if Rising Wave hadn't been able to score on that push, which of course they did not, they still had a lot of map control that they took back from it. And to give it up so easily now is going to be very disappointing for them, especially now that they are down 3 members, make that all 4, and Chomper is rushing towards that basket with a football made.
Yeah, and Rising Wave finds themselves in kind of that precarious situation again, where they have to be careful not to drop 1 by 1, play really patiently in order for them to kind of stop this push from happening. But Nawal Gaming having those clams and getting those clams in, bringing that score to 14 is going to be a tough one to come back from for Rising Wave.
And it doesn't really look like they have any means to get back in here. A few more clams going to go in. They just need one last one. And with 2 players down on each side, if it's just a couple of clams spawn close to that basket, it's going to be game. But thankfully for Rising Wave anyway, didn't happen.
Not yet, but there's only a minute 30 left on the clock. And Rising Wave is already starting to go down. We have 1 down on Rising Wave. And that's going to make this push back a little bit difficult. Morsa putting themselves in a kind of a difficult position. And, you know, these trades are going back and forth, but it's not really giving Rising Wave a chance to make that push happen.
No, definitely not. And with both of these teams playing such a fast-paced style of game, it's not really suiting Rising Wave to keep on trading back and forth like this, as they have been doing. Alex and Nero combining nicely there. However, they do get taken out in a 2-for-1 trade, and that could be the opening that Rising Wave needs. They still don't have enough clams, though, if that's...
Oh, no! Sorry,
Spectator cam, go somewhere else, please.
Just look away!
And we see Alex, taking up a great position here. Listen, these things happen. It is unfortunate, but situations against top players like this do call for a little bit of pressure. So to see one of those accidents happen, Bob Ross will be proud.
A little bit unfortunate for Rising Wave. But here we are again, kind of in position to be able to make that push, but not enough clams. Again, their clams count hasn't been super high this whole match, but they do have 2 footballs, so perhaps they can make something happen here in this overtime push.
Yeah, and these missiles are going to be crucial from Morsa. If they're able to help, even just get a kill or 2, that should be massive. And Nikaido able to pair up with those missiles to get that pick, but they didn't do quite enough. And if it wasn't bad enough for one player to fall off the map, now it's the football is falling off too. And I think that is going to be the game right there. Alex spending just enough time to not allow Nick any sort of entranceway to the basket. A very clean 1-0 start for Nawal Gaming against Rising Wave here.
Definitely. They definitely held down all of that positioning, and 20 KA coming out of Alex. Although these KAs are really high from pretty much every member of every team in this match, so we see a little bit of a shooter meta coming out,
We do, and I was also mistaken early on in the match. I said double armor. In fact, Alex opted for the Tri-Slosher Nouveau, which gave them a storm. Didn't see too many of those come out, but it does allow for great pressure, and it's something that we could see returning here on Splat Zone's Wahoo, where Inkstorm, as well as Booyah Bomb, two of the probably most preferred specials in terms of capping that zone.
Yeah, but I don't know, not a personal favorite of mine, because I feel like that zone is a little bit finicky sometimes. Because the zone is circular, it makes it a little bit harder to judge when the zone is going to be capped or when it's not going to be capped. And sometimes I disagree with what the game thinks.
I think we've all been there disagreeing with the game.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. We'll see if Rising Wave are able to disagree with the authority that Nawal stamped on that last match and try to offer a little bit of resistance, a little bit more resistance, I should say. It wasn't that it wasn't hard fought, it's just they didn't quite find the progress needed. However, on a map like this, they might be able to establish themselves a little bit more. I would expect to see a bit more range come out, Nikaido perhaps being able to offer that, but both teams could opt to stick equally aggressive and short rangey.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to decide. It's tough to figure these things out, especially given how important a shooter meta is. But we do see that E-leader coming out from Nikaido, so we'll see if that is able to make a difference for Rising Wave as we enter game number 2.
And we wondered where the K shots were in that Clam Blitz Clam Blitz Piranha Pit.
I mean,
that's the more alliteration. But if there were any missing then, there are certainly none missing now. Both teams running a K-shot, which is pretty crucial here. It should be a great supply of missiles, and I think this is a really good change-up from Rising Wave to opt for triple shooter, along with the range of that E-leader, rather than trying to get a little bit spicy with the double splatling. Not to say it can't work, it's just sometimes to counter a shooter, you have to play another shooter.
If you can't beat them, join them, or something like that.
Something
is that
like
how the saying goes?
That is how it goes. As we do start to see Rising Wave putting their mark on this match, already in great positions. Nikaido able to break that armor and help assist their teammate with that kill. If they're able to hold on to the zone here, that would be massive as well. Able to take away at this point total for a little bit longer until Alex and Nero working together to cap that zone and put a penalty on Rising Wave.
Alex getting a really, really nice pick on Rising Wave and giving that a lot of space. However, I guess Rising Wave came from behind to kind of cap that zone back.
Well, it's almost as if they got flanked while flanking, because the second those two popped up on the flank, they instantly got taken out, and now this is looking fantastic for Nawal. Already pushing into that far left is Alex, and with that pressure from Narrows, Squeezer coming out, that's going to be an easy double for Alex. No one from Rising Wave quite expecting that aggressive positioning, which is a little bit surprising, as I would think at this point they would be very familiar with how aggressive Alex is going to be playing these.
Definitely, and that brings Nawal Gaming to the lead. And they are holding down this position so tightly, it's making it very difficult for Rising Wave to make those moves back into the zone.
It is that, but for the time being, at least, it is 2 down for Nawal, and this might be the opening for Rising Wave as we see Nick come in and just clean up that zone. Too many players to look at, though. Does find one, thankfully, but it was nearly a triple.
Yeah, but that was a good pick because we understand how strong of a player Alex is, so getting that pick on Alex might be able to give Rising Wave just a little bit more room to breathe.
Well, as you say that, instantly the zone is getting taken back, so I don't know if they'll be breathing easily just quite yet, but Alex does go down in a trade. The zone will be capped once again by Rising Wave, and this time they're going to try to utilize Nikaido's Inkstorm here to push on through. That was a beautiful shot from very far downtown. Nikaido hopefully should be able to find a few more. That is really the type of pressure they need from this long-range weapon to dissuade Nawal Gaming from pushing back in here as easily as they have been.
Now, talk a little bit about Nikaido's positioning, because Nikaido is kind of up in the action with the rest of their team. Is this something that you would do as an E-leader player?
Absolutely. In that situation, once you have control of the zone like that, and especially once that wall has been cleared out thanks to the Inkstorm, it is so important for backliners in general, not just E-leaders, to move up and make use of their range, really putting a lot of pressure on the players trying to push back in. So that is fantastic to see from them. Of course, once things get a little bit too hairy, it is understandable to back away and ensure that you live for a little bit longer. Something Alex will not be able to do against Morse's Booyah Bomb, but definitely take aggressive positions when you have the opportunity as a backliner.
And you know, we do love to see it. This game, honestly, with just a little bit over a minute left, has been going so back and forth with really only a point lead in favor of Rising Wave. They are holding on for dear life to that point.
They are, but it's going to be really tricky here as two members did go down to Alex and didn't find a trade on Alex either. Nikaido does have to hit that shot. Otherwise, thank you. Perfect timing. Thank you for the commentator assist.
Commentators bless.
Yes. But it still will be tricky to push back in here. However, Morse's Booyah Bomb gonna do enough to cap the zone, and Nikaido running for the hills against that junior does survive against all of it though, but Alex will eventually come through and take out Nikaido. Thankfully for Rising Wave, only Nikaido going down to Alex's Tri-Slosher though, as Nick will look to find a pick or two, but more importantly is surviving against these bubbles as there's so much pressure going on here.
This is some fancy footwork coming out. But the control does, I believe, go there. It's like really tough. See, remember when I told you that this zone was a little bit finicky? It's a lot finicky right now. Finicky,
but that is fantastic work from Nick there with the K-shot to provide some cover for Morse's Booyah Bomb, and I would imagine that it will come in time to cap the zone and not allow Nawal an overtime push as Rising Wave ties things up at 1 apiece.
That was a really well fought victory from Rising Wave because they were able to kind of take back the zone just as Nawal was ticking down their penalty. So, you know, really hard fought, really well deserved.
And how massive was Nikaido? 14 KA coming out from the E-liter. Who thought? Who in the world thought that backliners were dead in this meta? Raise your hand. Raise them up high. My hand is held up very high.
Yeah,
right now,
I was gonna say my hand's already up.
Yeah, that's why I don't play comp anymore. But Nikaido proving that it can still be done, and this will be another map that will provide an opportunity for some backliner influence. Tower Control, Inkblot Art Academy. Tell me what you're thinking about what we'll see here.
Well, this map in particular, it's a really short tower ride. The map is really small, so we might see a lot of shooters come out again. But you know, I don't know, Nikaido played that E-liter really well, and there are areas of positioning where you can stand as an E-liter where you won't be hit, ideally, as for shooter players. So we'll see if we see something like that, or maybe something a little bit more maneuverable, like a Jet Sculpture. I keep talking about the Jet Sculpture because I'm expecting it to happen, but maybe Commentators' Curse will keep it from happening.
Well, it is a very popular weapon within the meta. Certainly provides a lot of range, but still allows for some more aggression, and you can't really go wrong with shooters these days, can you? So, not a bad thought at all. Commentator Curse or Commentator Blurs, we will have to wait and see.
Commentators Blurs. I'm gonna have to pick up that one for my next commentary gig.
We could do a little plug if you wanted to about when that might be.
Oh yeah, so if you guys are new to the competitive scene and you're liking what you see, make sure you sign up for Low Ink this weekend.
It's something we're very excited to be checking out and watching as they do a wonderful job. Monthly tournament. Of course, perhaps that will be the pathway for teams out there to get to the level that we're seeing here from Rising Wave and Nawal. Mel, you talked about the Jet Sculpture. You materialized the Jet Sculpture.
My eyes got wide when I saw that.
And there it is. There it is.
But we do see a lot of shooters coming out in addition to that sloshing machine. But that sloshing machine is pretty much like a shooter. In my eyes.
It's not exactly a shooter, but on this map it is extremely strong. Being able to push up underneath the plat, multiple plats for that matter, definitely one of the most cheesable weapons, perhaps, to describe for a map like this. They might not need any cheese, though, as Nawal Gaming have already pushed through this first checkpoint, and they've taken out 3 of the 4 members of Rising Wave. Cam going down right as that armor is coming out. I don't think those teammates will have gotten that armor either, so it's not going to be easy to get on in here, as second checkpoint is already gone as well. Rising Wave needs to compose themselves because Nawal Gaming is chugging along.
This is really it's kind of exactly what you want to see from a tower control map. You know, we have a member of Nawal Gaming kind of just chilling on the tower. I understand that they got taken out and stuff, but you have a member of Nawal Gaming just chilling on the tower, and basically the other 3 members are just like little chihuahuas, kind of running out, biting the ankles of their opponents, you know? So you gotta kind of clear the path of the tower. Make sure that the tower is clear before you make that push happen.
Consider those ankles bitten, and speaking of, Morse's ankles got nibbled at by 3 members of Nawal Gaming, taken out before that Booyah Bomb could be launched. And Nawal have been able to utilize that pick alone just to push on in here. Oh my goodness, Cam is not making it out of that. That was bullying.
This is a little bit brutal, and you know what? We saw this in game 1, that Nawal's ability to be able to push, their offensive power is kind of immense, especially when they run shooters like this. So it's something, definitely a force to be reckoned with. And Nick getting a nice pick on Alex, hopefully kind of giving a little bit of breathing room for Rising Wave, getting a trade, one more on, I didn't read the name, but the Sloshing Machine player.
Yeah, that was very crucial for them, and importantly what Morse is doing right now is painting up the map. Obviously the 52 Gal, not just fantastic at area denial with that splash ball, not just fantastic at killing with that 2-tap, but great at painting for some reason. I'm not quite sure why it's good at all those things, but it also then provides a Booyah Bomb that can then take out a member of Nawal Gaming from far, far away, and this is starting to look pretty good for Rising.
Yeah, it certainly is. Man, I'm still like thinking about that Booyah Bomb. That was like psychic almost. They knew that they were gonna missile right there and then.
If only Teruhashi Kokomi were here. But Morsa able to find another pick and provide enough time for Rising Wave to break through the second checkpoint. Things are starting to get a little bit nerve-wracking for Nawal, but they do look in good control here as we see Aizen utilizing that K-Machine's massive hitbox to get plenty of picks there, and that will be a wipe onto Rising Wave. Should provide a lot of opportunity for Nawal to paint up this map and take back a lot of control. However, you have to say, if you're Rising Wave, you would be very...
Did you see that?
Of course I saw it. Not only me, but Aizen and Alex saw it too, but it doesn't matter. When you snail with the 52, you get a double with the 52.
Wow,
that's the lesson to take away from this.
That was literally the best thing I've ever seen in Splatoon 2 history. Morsa is a legend.
And not only that, but we'll be able to find one more pick onto Alex before getting traded out, of course, as well. The missiles were very, very timely there for Nawal Gaming as things were starting to swing, not just in momentum, but kind of in mood too. That is
yeah,
so
sorry, I'm so distracted right now. But Nick is holding down the positioning for Rising Wave, hopefully not allowing Nawal Gaming to make any more significant pushes, because they're going to need to make that swing happen in their favor.
And these missiles could be the beginning of that. A good job of kind of getting as close as possible to try to push in with the missiles before launching them. However, this Toxic Mist, I mean, we should be seeing it more perhaps from the Jet Squelcher, but the Vanilla Splash will come out, and that is going to be so detrimental to anyone trying to push up that left wall. Such a key position to take up, trying to move the tower beyond that second checkpoint. And because of that one Toxic Mist, that's allowed for Nawal Gaming to take full control of the situation with just 5 seconds left. It shouldn't be possible, right?
You know, Commentator's curse always is Commentator's blurs. Yep. Yeah.
The words came out, and it was
almost
it
words.
worked. Yeah.
It was close. Wow, that was a really eventful match. You know, even though Nawal Gaming won the battle, I think Morsa won the war.
There's no arguing against that. Yes, I mean, when you get spotted by 2 enemies and they rush you because you're snailing along with no real ink around you, and you still walk away with a double, you won the mental battle.
Yeah. I'm still thinking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. Anyway.
Well, perhaps to take your mind off of it, we can start thinking about Rainmaker Starfish main stage. Now, this is certainly a map that plays very, very fast. And with what we've seen so far from Nawal, would you be favoring them to take this set 3-1, or do you think Rise and Wave are going to have an answer to send it to Game 5?
Listen, Barry, you know I'm always rooting for the underdog, that we want to see that Game 5 happen. We want to see them go neck and neck until the very end. But I think Nawal is a really strong force to be reckoned with, that they have those shooters, and it's gonna be a tough uphill battle for Rising Wave for sure.
It absolutely will be, and I would expect to see some of the same weapon choices coming back out. I think that Splash, utilizing the Toxic Mist here, maybe even more so than on Piranha Pit, would be fantastic for shutting down pushes with just one sub. Don't know if we will see the return of the Vanilla Jet. Nikaido didn't look bad on it by any means, but certainly didn't have quite the same influence as the E-Leader. However, because it is Rainmaker, not really expecting an E-Leader either.
So I guess we'll have to wait and see what Nikaido comes up with for this next match. I think Rainmaker is definitely, it feels like it's going to be in Nawal Gaming's favor just because of how quickly it plays and how quickly the points can go back and forth.
Yeah, I would have to agree, but I am with you. Would love to see a Game 5. And for those of you kind of keeping an eye on the other set of the JP Team 1, 2, 3 and Thwomp, they are also tied up at 2 apiece. So perhaps we will see 2 sets of Game 5s here in these semifinals before the winner moves on to face whoever comes out of that other set.
And let us see. We do see really fast comps coming out from both teams. Nikaido with that mini Splatling, which I think could be a good choice because of its ability to shoot really fast and hopefully get fast pops from it.
Yeah, and it will provide a lot of painting power, of course, as well. Perhaps the most necessary thing will be that it does combo with the K-Shot to produce double missiles, something that I would also say one of the things we haven't really touched enough upon, perhaps. With how fast Nawal play, it does kind of go under the radar occasionally that Alex is very, very good at sharking off, and that could have been one of the many issues that Rise and Wave have been encountering so far. Not always quite aware of where Alex is at, but right now they need to be aware of Chomper because Chomper's already at 8 points and just short of the pedestal. This is a massive early push here from Nawal.
Oh, Nero! Nero thought that they could just chill there, but man, were they wrong. Unfortunately, unable to kind of stay in the enemy base a little bit, but Rising Wave being able to paint a little bit out, resetting the Rainmaker, and hopefully getting a few picks before making their big moves. We will see.
Yeah, we will see. Right now it is kind of stalemating a little bit, but that said, I take it all back. It's going right back in the favor of Nawal. They've instantly pushed in here to find a third pick and are taking up so much space. Morse is trying to do what Nero did earlier, and Nero kind of returning the favor a little bit. Nawal already in a great position. So long as they can avoid these missiles, they might be able to add a few more points, but these bombs are tricky to navigate around.
Yeah, for sure. But Chomper is having a really difficult time climbing this slope and just kind of able to get a pick, which is pretty impressive given that they were back just straight into that corner.
Yeah, but it will also kind of coincide with the wiping of Nawal Gaming, as we do see an early pick come out there onto Alex, which is a crucial pick if you're a Rising Wave, of course, but this could open up a little bit of opportunities. Chomper, however, just doing enough to paint Morse's feet, and that bomb will, from the grave, get the trade.
Rising Wave is definitely going to have to play a little bit more patiently, but, you know, with a K-Shot kind of standing so far back, they might to just build missiles and kind of spam the Rainmaker with bombs. That push to 8 was really, really strong, so it might be an option that they're able to take.
It might be, and maybe I saw it wrong, but that bomb wasn't not on the other side of the pillow. Not sure, maybe spectator things, but if you're throwing bombs that good, then yeah, I think you just sit back and relax as the K-Shot, build up those missiles, because look at what it's done for you. Rising Wave once again on the back foot here, and oh my goodness, even going the interesting route across that jump and onto the grates. Not quite able to make more progress on their lead, but certainly making a lot of players for Rising Wave really nervous right now.
Yeah, I think Rising Wave is definitely going to have to play this very carefully, and all those bombs coming out from the side of Nawal, giving Chomper a little bit of coverage, but Nikaido able to get that pick and stop that push from continuing any farther.
Crucially, too, it must be said, because if 1 or 2 jumps had been allowed to come in from Nawal Gaming, that might have been a knockout position.
Definitely. They do opt to have that Rainmaker reset really quick. And I think at this point, Rising Wave is just trying to kind of grasp their surroundings and build a little bit of in coverage before they're making that first major push for themselves.
Well, as we see from the overhead there, they actually have a lot of area to move around in. They do go 1 down, make that 2 down, and that's going to be the Rainmaker as the second one, unfortunately, going down for them. But they were starting to look good, and they still do have a minute left, so it's not as if this is game just yet, but oh, that jump is going to probably get punished.
Yikes.
Yeah, beautiful work here from Aizen on the K-Machine. Double direct, I think, and it's helping the teammates chase down that final member of Rising Wave. Things are not looking good if you're the team in yellow. But, you know, still 30 seconds, never give up hope.
And especially with a mode like Rainmaker, where really one wipe could be the make it or break it moment.
We will have to see if they are able to find that make it or break it moment, of course. But with that pick, that is a good starting place. The armor does go out, but the armorer will get punished. Nick doing a good job to dance around these bombs and not get found, not died just yet. But hopefully they would have seen that left flank. Yes, they did. But can they win that fight?
Yeah, this is gonna be a really precarious situation for the Rainmaker. They do take out that flanker, but that is 3 down on the side of Nawal. Oh, that bomb almost taking out Nikaido. But let's see if Nikaido is able to make this push happen with their team.
Yeah, it was such a crucial pick, and the flank also took out 2, which was a massive time waste for Rising Wave, having to wait an additional 10-15 seconds for the other 2 members to make it back in here. So they are only down to the last 20 seconds left on this Rainmaker clock, and they're not able to make any progress. The bombs, the missiles, everything is rushing in. Don't retreat! Don't retreat!
You know, sometimes that's the only option you have, Barry. It's the only way.
It is, but while that Rainmaker is backing up, Alex is holding forward and will get the final kill of this set, sending Nawal through 2 finals of this SOS 72, 3-1 to them. Very well played, and even though we see the KAs coming out in favor of Rising Wave, perhaps due to the missile assists, still Nawal in control throughout that match thanks to a beautiful first push.
For sure. And that does take Nawal Gaming into the finals, and the other set was actually won by the Japanese team 1-2-3. So Nawal Gaming will be facing off against 1-2-3. So that will be definitely an interesting match.
It will be. I mean, there's not too many teams out there that could be a team of Thwomp's caliber. For those who do not know, Shaq, Kyo, Bagel, Bursty, and a couple of others. I'm not entirely sure who all is playing tonight, but will be some of the most recognizable names, some of the most experienced players from the Western scene that we have to offer. So for them to go down 3-2, it must have been quite the set. Good luck to Nawal Gaming, though.
Good luck. I mean, we saw some really strong plays coming out from Nawal, so maybe that kind of aggression is going to be enough against Team 1-2-3.
Yeah, and one of the things that we did see from Team 1-2-3, that, you know, we as fans of a certain anime did happen to pick up upon. One of the names, Mel, would you care to tell us where it's from?
Yeah, so the name that is in the Japanese characters is Teruhashi Kokomi, which is from the anime Saiki-K, and it is actually one of my and Barry's favorite animes because it is extremely funny and very, very cute. So highly recommend if you guys got Netflix, you know, check it out. I know I'm not a hashtag not sponsored, but you know, it's a hashtag recommendation.
It is a very good recommendation, as we can see their name up there with Koyami, with Shochan, and Doragon.
Doragon. Like a dragon, no?
Like a dragon? I don't know. I don't know for sure. I don't know.
Dragon. I'm gonna just keep saying it, and maybe it'll like sound more Japanese the more I say it.
Perhaps. But we, of course, did see 1-2-3 earlier on against the Rats, taking, I believe that was a 3-0. So they are in very good form and should be more than warmed up after a highly contested set, 3-2 against Thwomp.
Wait, well, okay, I have some trivia for you, Barry.
Yes.
Do you know what a thwomp is?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It's the brick guy from the Mario series.
What color is he?
Like a stone gray.
All right, you pass just for today. A plus.
A plus.
A plus.
I mean, I called him a brick guy. I probably should have called him a stone guy.
Yeah, it's like concrete or something, you know?
Yeah, it's like a concrete paver almost.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you didn't get it confused with a womp, okay?
A womp? No, I don't know what that is.
It's okay. You don't need to know.
I'm looking it up.
I'll let you. I'll tell you when you're older.
Oh. It's one of those tips.
All right, but we're currently waiting for the players to come into the lobby for our finals of Swim or Sync 72. 72?
72.
There have been 72 Swim or Syncs?
Yes, there have been.
Impressive. IPL does really good work. So if y'all have been watching since Swim or Sync 1, man, you are the real OGs.
One's in chat for all those watching at the time.
You know, for the number ones. The Fortnite Victory Royale ones.
And they better have the founders badges. That's all I'm saying.
You're right. But anyway, we are going into our first match on Splat Zone's Anchovy Games.
Oh no, is this your Smurf accent coming out?
No. Tell us a little bit about this map and mode, Barry.
Well, it is...
Chat. We want to learn from you, the expert leader player. Thank you.
Well, I'm not sure that we will see an Elite come out here. Obviously, from Nawal, it would be extremely unexpected at this point for them to bring out a Charger. Certainly one of that range. Not entirely sure what to expect from 1-2-3, though. However, this map, though it can play a couple different ways, perhaps the way that you're referring to a little bit more with the E-Liter is slow and special spammy. I don't expect either of these two teams to be playing it quite so patiently. Predict both of these teams to be playing extremely aggressively, trying to get up over top of the other team's fan and push into their street. If you can take control of mid and then move into the other team's street, it is extremely challenging for that enemy team to clear you out of their street before they're able to push back to the zone. This is one of those maps that can end in 60 seconds.
It certainly can, and we will see in the next 60 seconds if this game will be done or not.
Well, maybe 60 seconds plus a handful more as we see what we get to witness from these two teams. A double slosher comp coming back again from Nawal, and a good old quad shooter. How I've missed you. Junior K-Shot, Kensa 52, and the custom Jet Squelcher. Very classic weapons at this time. And already a Ray just about ready, but there will be a counter armor coming out here from Chomper, and that's actually done really well for them, because if you can trade a 52 gal for a Tri-Slusher, I think you do. However, I don't think you trade 3 for 1. Make that 4 for 1. 1-2-3 already in great control, and it really doesn't look like that custom jet is going to be advancing a whole lot further, as they were still sitting really far back.
Oh my god. I do have a question for you, Barry.
Yes, Mel.
And by the time you answer it, the game could possibly be over. Who knows?
But it won't, because Alex has rescued the day.
You are correct. Nawal Gaming is in fact... Ooh, I think Alex maybe got a little bit too hasty there in pushing up.
Yeah, and perhaps the same could be said of Chomper, is that 52 gal will take out too, and nothing hits like a 52 gal, but nothing really hits like a JP kind of 52 gal. What is your question, Lauren?
Why would you opt to run the custom Jet Squelcher on this map, despite being Splat Zones and not a vanilla Jet Squelcher?
Well, simply put, it's because this map is, again, very good for special spam. You can stand really far back and just use your specials, and with the aggression that we're seeing coming out here from 123, especially that 52 gal, trying to find the pick on to Chomper, which thankfully Chomper able to live thanks to the assistance from the Keishin there. It's just going to allow the Jet to sit really comfortably all the way back and be able to apply a lot of pressure. And when they need to sit even further back and apply a pressure with the Ray, they can do that too.
I like it. That sounds like an A+ answer from me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have 3 minutes left on the clock. Nawal Gaming does take the zone and does take down their penalties, so they are building points slowly as hopefully 123 is kind of readying up a push back into the zone. But we shall see if this is going to be successful for them or not.
Well, certainly when you start off that retake with the Ray pick onto the junior of Nawal Gaming, that is a brilliant start. But that said, Nawal has recovered exceptionally well, finding 2 more picks, and now this is kind of looking bad for 123. Already getting pushed on by Alex, and I think maybe even the K-shots here too. Alex is going to rush down to try to find that Stingrayer, but they're not going to get away anytime soon. I think Nawal just took this.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Let's go, Nawal. Wow, Nawal, it was kind of looking a little bit precarious in the beginning. We weren't really sure what was going to happen with Nawal, but Nawal really pulled through with this.
They did, and I think it has to be a credit to how well the players around that right side drop denied that area from the members of 123 who were trying to push in and collapse on the zone with the Jet Squelcher who was shooting out from their snipe. Not allowing those 2 players in really was a massive setback for 123, and it gave Nawal just enough time, as we saw the zone was looking pretty orange at the end, just enough time to get the knockout.
Yeah, for sure. Now, do you think that play at that moment to have 2 players flanking around the back was the best option for them? Because I felt like in the beginning when they pushed in 1, 2, 3, all 4 of them together, it seemed a lot more successful than having them split 2 and 2.
I would agree with that. I think perhaps, if I'm not mistaken, there may have even been 1 member already down, so it was kind of a 2-in-1 situation. Not able to exert quite as much pressure, just having the Jet shoot out. Nawal players kind of understood in that moment, as long as they weren't in range of the Jet Sculpture, they didn't have to worry about dying to them, so they were able to very easily focus the 2 members dropping in. However, it doesn't seem like either team has particularly changed up very
anything?
much. Yeah.
But you know what? I think there's a lot of value to that, to be able to play the weapon that you play and play it really, really well.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. You're talking to someone who hasn't gone meta despite playing Chargers all this time. So 100% there with you. As we... Okay, I just wanted to let the fight end somehow. Not the cleanest of 1v1s there, but it ends up in the favor of 123, and they are already kind of pushing in here. Alex has to be careful about this push coming through from the K-shot, but thankfully Aizen with the K machine able to defend Alex from going down initially, but in the end, it's just Chomper left alive, and being focused by 2 shooters is not the position you want to be in, especially when you're trying to have an armor ready for your team to come back in with. Alex does get the trade, but it's already looking like it's going to be 1 checkpoint down for 123.
But you know, getting that pick on that 52 gal, I feel like if Alex didn't get that pick, it could have really turned out more than just 1 checkpoint. Perhaps it could have been a knockout at that point. So being able to take out their most aggressive player and, you know, honestly, their biggest slayer, I would say, personally, I think is definitely big on the part of Nawal.
Absolutely, and we're seeing the benefits of that coming through here as Chomper is sitting on a tower, breaking through the first checkpoint and taking a small lead. Will go 2 down in the situation, so probably going to try to aid Alex's retreat. The missiles, not going to allow that to happen.
Unfortunately so, and Nawal Gaming with 2 players down is actually giving 123 a little bit of an opportunity, a little bit of leeway to make that push And since they have already cleared that first checkpoint, they do not have to wait there, and they're on their way to the second.
On their way and already past the initial lead. Now, it's not a lot of points here on a map like this to take it even just past the second checkpoint. But perhaps with the way Nawal are defending, they would have loved to have gotten a few more points. Would 1, 2, 3. Doragon, able to survive the rampaging junior, so a little junior on junior violence, something that I personally like to see.
Oh, close your eyes. It's not for the faint of heart, junior on junior violence.
Well, speaking of violence, there is plenty going on anytime Alex lays eyes on an enemy player. But that said, having to deal with a bit of a flank right now, I think it's the K-shot that it is holding up the works for Nawal. Does get dealt with, and Alex is looking to push onto the bunker of 1, 2, 3. A fantastic position for any slosher. But that GG Ray is going to bring things to a steep halt. Not any players for Nawal, even in sight of that tower. They want nothing to do with that Ray.
Well, I thought it was interesting that Aizen decided to super jump out into a splashdown off of the tower. So I think being able to kind of try to use that time productively, where you know you can't stand on the tower because otherwise you'll be taken out. Hey, maybe I get a pick from a super jump splashdown.
Perhaps. I don't think it quite worked out, and oh, isn't that just a gross sight? I mean, that wasn't even the 52 gal.
Yeah, with and three members of Nawal are coming back from spawn, and this is giving an opportunity for 1, 2, 3 to hold that positioning and maybe even make it past that second checkpoint.
I would imagine that they can break through it here with the Ray coming out. There should even be a Booyah Bomb coming through as well. Barrett is landing on the tower just a fraction too late. But then it will be the Jet Squelch trying to take up that position and break through the checkpoint. Does get found out here by Nero, and in truth, Nawal have done a brilliant job every time they've had to defend so far, only ever giving up a couple of points at a time. It's just their offense is stalling out a little bit too much, and I think part of it could be due to the fact that that splashdown is not offering a lot of forward progress. Neither really are the missiles or the ink storms, so it's going to take a pretty strong collaboration of specials, and the timing couldn't be worse for that double death there. Make that
a little cursed, wouldn't you say, my friend?
Perhaps a little bit cursed, but if you're a 1, 2, 3 supporter, then that was a blurst image seen. Sorry, it's not blurst, it's just blessed. It was a beautiful sight to see all 4 members of Nawal down. And once again, it is going to be just the K-shot alive. Does find Ko on that 52, but that is going to be it. 1, 2, 3, tying it up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, and you know, I think in that match, it really just felt like 1, 2, 3 had a tight rein on the control, that they were able to get the picks on Nawal. They were able to push forward when they needed to. We saw the Stingray coming out when the tower was being pushed, so that they gave a little bit of covering fire, and you know, the Booyah Bombs. So I think in general for 1, 2, 3, their special coordination was just a little bit better than Nawal's.
I would also say that the way that their specials mesh a lot stronger than the way that Nawal Gaming's specials were meshing. Of course, on the side of 1, 2, 3, you have the Booyah Bomb pressuring people back from an area. At the same time, you have that Stingray coming out. That's a lot of pressure, and on top of that, they could have missiles raining them down. So you either have to give a lot of space and hope that that Ray doesn't find you, or you have to rush in. At that same time, you could be going against players who are armored thanks to the junior. So 4 really strong specials, and granted, for the mode, going to be a lot better than perhaps Anchovies Bloodstones, for example, where we didn't see that Ray work out in 1, 2, 3's favor. However, on the other side of things for Nawal, I don't think the splashdown was really offering enough moving forward, putting pressure onto the members of 1, 2, 3. And on top of that, you could say that the Inkstorm and the missiles weren't used at the same time quite enough. Perhaps a couple of special comp changes for Nawal, and it's all problem solved.
Yeah, that's valid salad.
But of course, they're not going to change it.
We do see a Splash-O-Matic actually coming out from 1, 2, 3. You know what? It's my personal selfish. Wait, they already got a. Oh, they popped it so fast. I was looking at the map. I didn't even see them pop it. I'm like, whoa, they already got a pick.
Make that 2 picks.
That's my selfish desire to see them push it left, but you know, no one ever does that.
Don't say no one. We've seen it happen a time or two. This is perhaps the place for Splashdown, getting an instant pop onto that. Only able to move it to 62 though, the Rainmaker that is, but Aizen is trying to find a little bit of pressure onto the members of 1, 2, 3, sloshing up onto that snipe, and will allow for Nawal to continue this push a little bit further, right up until the moment I started that sentence, as they are now 2 down and missiled off.
And that is a wipe, and you know that in Rainmaker, a wipe is a bad news bears. So we'll see if 1, 2, 3 is able to make use of this wipe and push that Rainmaker. They do bring it right, even though there was a wipe. I think it was just a little bit too late to make a push left happen. But I think a push past 62 doesn't sound super unreasonable, but Alex really putting pressure on 1, 2, 3. And unfortunately getting taken out by the Rainmaker. The Rainmaker kind of stepping back far enough to give themselves a little bit of room to protect themselves. They are able to make it past the lead. I creaked past the lead like they did.
Yes, they have been extremely patient, has Teruhashi Kokomi, but it's paying off for them right now. However, the number of bombs that are coming out here from Nawal, too much to deal with in the end, and so it's a very small lead that 1, 2, 3 are able to walk away with here. But they do find a very crucial pick, and this splash could try to push through the trench. Thinks better of it, backs away, and I think it might just be let the Rainmaker reset and play for mid.
And you know, I think that would be a great opportunity for 1, 2, 3, given that they do have control of mid and pretty steadily as well. So being able to push back, oh my goodness, that was a great time for Alex, but maybe not such a great time anymore.
How does Alex live against the missiles and the damage that's already done? But also, how does the junior live against Alex? So many players finding some survivability that otherwise no one would have expected. Maybe another example, that bomb kind of looking right at the top of it, but things are somehow working out in 1, 2, 3's favor. So long as they don't go down to the fizzy bomb. Everyone is dying left and right, and this jump could get punished as well. It is not a good... They lived.
They lived. We're in the Twilight Zone, folks. Some things are happening, and we find that survivability. They got the quick feet maneuver. We got the bomb things happening. So, you know, it's gonna be an interesting time, folks. Strap in.
It's already proven to be extremely interesting here. Wait.
While we were watching all that fighting happening in the middle of the map, somehow 1, 2, 3 is able to actually take that Rainmaker, make it to the podium, and gets taken out just before the dunk. So they do bring that point 2-1. And
boy, I would have loved to have seen how they got there, but Autospec really messing with us here. 1, 2, 3 is still in a great position here to perhaps show the people at home how they take the Rainmaker to 1. Getting several kills here, and those missiles will find another pick. Doesn't get taken out by Alex as the trade comes through, but Alex may be rushing in a little bit too quickly. Again, another trade coming out here, and it's going to be just that Jet Squelcher trying to back away. This is going to be Nawal's opportunity if there has ever been one. Have great position. They just have a long way to go between 62 and knockout.
And Nero is going to need to get this pick. Unfortunately, getting taken out by Kokomi and kind of giving up a little bit of positioning on that left side, the right side. I guess it depends on the perspective, right?
It does a little bit, yes. But I think whichever side you're on right now, you definitely want to be in 1, 2, 3's position. They even have the Rainmaker, one of the strongest weapons in the game, it must be said. And with that Ray coming out there from Shochan, I don't think this is going to allow too many members of Nawal getting anywhere near the Rainmaker. Nero does get the pick, but Koyami here just sharking, waiting for anybody to try and drop in here to pick up that Rainmaker.
I think dropping that Rainmaker in that tunnel is going to prove a little bit difficult for them to be able to get it out unscathed.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it definitely doesn't leave a lot of room to be able to maneuver, to be able to dodge, to be able to kind of even charge up your shots before you see another shooter in your face. So, GG's to 123 for making that push and to making that push that we didn't even see.
And there's a world where we got to see exactly how the Rainmaker got to 1. We do not live in that world. Did you happen to see that one of the members of 123 is S+?
No.
Yeah, they're S+ in Rainmaker. If ever they're... Yeah.
Well,
it's something that you've touched upon recently.
Oh, yes. To be fair, the lobbies in Japanese, like, the Japanese lobbies are generally higher powers than in Western lobbies. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like I'm a firm believer that you don't have to be X rank to be a competitive player, and we see it here, you know?
Absolutely, because they look better than 99.9% of all X rank players I see in solo queue, and they do not care about their rank. They just care about winning and improving as a player, and that is a fantastic mentality. Something that clearly is doing wondrous work for them, as they have a very good position to be in here. Up to 1 in this best of 7 set.
Indeed, and we are going to find ourselves in game 4 at Makomart. Now, Mel,
I have a quick question for you.
Is it going to be the question everyone asks when Makomart
No,
comes
it's
up?
actually going to be, have you ever seen the movie Bad News Bears? Because you referenced it last match, and
That's
now
not
I'm just
a movie.
curious.
That's not real.
It is a movie.
Then I have not.
All right, she hasn't seen it, but what we do get to see is the overhead. Look at all those clams out there, and obviously there will be pockets of clams spawning upon some of these lonely clams out there being picked up and made into footballs. But before that can happen, we do see Shochan's Ray come out, not able to find a pick on it. One thing that Nawal has been doing very well is having that armor ready to counter that early Ray at the start of matches, but again, it's very difficult for them to move on in here, constantly getting double teamed, and when you're getting fired at by a Jet and a 52 gal, that's probably not going to result in you living.
Yeah, the RNG isn't quite strong enough for the probability of survival.
And speaking of probabilities of survival, Chomper not going to be able to survive that Ray either, and it looks like that might have been another pick there onto the K-shot as well. Nero going down before Doragon, able to open up this basket. Only one... nope, never mind. They found the football. I was going to say...
Oh, but they missed the football!
Oh, but the splash down.
Yeah, okay. You know, we're panicking, but you know, they got it under control. We're panicking more than they are.
Yeah, it's walk in the park to go back up there and get that football and score a little bit more. Speaking of scoring a little bit more, Teruhashi Kokomi able to put down that wall, and that's going to be massive to allow a few more clams to come in here, but the perfectly placed bomb from Nero, able to get the splat thanks to the assist from the splash wall. Meant to defend, but turned into the counter.
That was an interesting something. I don't really know what it was, but it was an interesting something that I just watched.
I think the splash counter got... Yeah, wait.
I think Nero just got a triple.
Yeah.
And this is an impressive opportunity for Nawal to kind of make that push back. And they are tossing those clams in, but 1-2-3 is not making it easy for them to be able to gather those points into the board.
No, but Aizen's in a fantastic position here to really provide cover for Chomper. Pushing on through here, able to throw in enough clams to get the lead. Small lead as it is, 1 point. It might be added a little bit onto Aizen and Chomper, both throwing in some more clams. Chomper's been doing such a good job taking care of the objective, but meanwhile, Aizen does go down, trying to use that splash down against 2 players. It's understandable, but sorry, have a nice day.
Yeah, we're gonna need to see some really big plays coming out from continued plays coming out from Nawal, like what Nero did with the threefer. The triple. But I think rather than what we need to see from Nawal, I think we need to see a little bit of something coming out from 1-2-3. They do get 3 players down, and they will find the 4th, Alex, being the last member of that wipe. So perhaps
perhaps they heard me instantly and said, I'll show you something. Because already pushing in here, they do have another football ready, and if they can just get close, they actually have two footballs that might have been not what they were looking to do in truth, as it allowed for the Nawal members to more easily be able to track onto them.
Oh no! They're waiting for the basket to come, and they. That's like the most precarious thing ever. You don't really know when that basket's coming down, but you can trust that one day it will come down again, and you will be able to score some points.
It will, but they scored more than enough to get lead. However, they on the flip side of things get taken out down to a wipe as well. And it's going to be, once again, Nawal's opportunity to push it. They have 30 clams. They have triple footballs. Make that double footballs. Make that they scored one and they wiped.
That was such a grand build-up. But the 1, 2, 3 was like, hold up, Barry. You gotta calm down there.
Well, it looked very promising. Had all 3 footballs gone in, that could have been the game, I think. I don't think that was quite enough to break through the penalty and knock it out. But at the very least, it does put them in a more manageable position to win off of one final push. That said, just because their clam possibility is doable, the map does not look very good for Nawal at this time, as 1, 2, 3 have a lot of clams, and they're about to start scoring all of them.
Oh yeah, that was a really quick takedown for those points for 1, 2, 3, and that does give 1, 2, 3 the third game of the set, making it only one more game for them to take home the prize, the championship prize of Swim or Sink 72. Man, I wish I won Swim or Sink 72. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we can't win it because we're commentating it, and if we're commentating, we can't play in it unless we're really talented individuals, and we are not that talented.
Wow, speak for yourself, Barry.
I'm speaking for myself, yes. I am not that talented of an individual.
Oh, but this next map is a favorite of yours, personally, I know, Barry. Can you talk to us a little bit about Humpback Pump Track Splat Zone?
I'm an untalented individual who does not particularly care for Splat Zone's Humpback Pump Track. It is, of my opinion, it is one of the worst Splat Zones maps in the game, as we tend to only see special spam here. And that is also relatively true at a higher level as well. I'm not saying that we'll see a missile jet coming out here from Shochan, but you'd have to imagine that. Why not missile here, as everyone does? Why even Ray, right?
I don't know. You're the Ray bot.
I would go missiles here every time.
Every time. All right, well, we'll see what they decide to bring into this next match. We do see some missiles coming out from Nawal, and we do also see some missiles coming out from 1, 2, 3. So we'll see which team can out-missile the other.
And we do, of course, see a classic on Humpback zones, which is Booyah Bombs coming in. It will only be one Booyah Bomb from each team, both utilizing the Kensa 52 Gal. But perhaps the ace up their sleeves, if Nawal is to survive this Game 5 and move it on to Game 6, is going to be Alex on that Tri-Slosher. Something that is one of the most popular weapons to ever be played on this map. Certainly at the start of the game, it was the go-to weapon, and it does so well here. Both in painting the zone and putting pressure on enemy players behind the zone. So it's not to say that Nawal don't have a good chance at sending this to a Game 6, it's just they're going to have to be on the top of their game.
Yes, they certainly are. And 1, 2, 3 does take control of the zone again. And we see Ko using that, oh my god, bomb rush. I'm like trying to say, I'm like, what is the word? Bomb rush to kind of create space, but unfortunately not enough space, because Nawal is hopefully able to take that zone back.
It very much, yeah, very much looked like they were in the position to, but right now they're getting flanked, so they're kind of having to watch from two sides, and it's understandable to be giving up the zone for a little bit longer when you're not sure if you're going to get shot in the back. That said, Alex finally able to focus someone at the zone, but of course then does get shot in the back.
Is that Commentator's curse or Blur's? I don't really know.
it's both. Koyami has that bomb rush ready and is going to pop it very early here to try to put pressure on any members trying to sneak their way a little bit closer to the zone here. Perhaps would have been better to save it, as this Inkstorm and an armor coming out from Nawal, but that said, don't forget that the splash as a main weapon is really gross too.
Koyami is really taking the names of every single member of Nawal Gaming, writing down their phone numbers. They're trip picking in the middle of the match. They are our Swim and Sync champions. Swim and Sync 72 champions.
To quote One Cup of Mud, well, that is a 4-1 right there to 1-2-3. And if that is not the way to end a finals in style and confidence, the triple drip pick, if only Koyami had been able to cleanly get that final kill, then we would have seen all 4 members in it. But that said, very well played to them. They looked in control throughout this, with that one exception of the starting match, Splatzone's Anchovy, but from there on out, it really never looked like they were turning back. Of course, very well played by Nawal as well. Not an easy team to go up against by any means. So I think they showed a lot of character and talent to really put up a fight, especially in that Clan Blitz, Mako Mart, and the Tower Control Manta Maria matches.
Yes, definitely. We definitely saw a lot of back and forth come in from both teams. 1, 2, 3, I think just, coordinating those specials just a little bit more, maybe feeling a little bit more comfortable in their roles on the team with the weapons that they play, because they remain pretty consistent throughout the whole set. So, we hopefully we'll see them see a rematch. I would love to see that.
I would love that as well. We do hope to see 1, 2, 3 back again in Swim or Sync 73. We should also mention that over in the 3rd place match, Thwomp took the 3-0 against Rising Wave. I wouldn't call that a surprise, but obviously you kind of have to back the team featuring Kyo, right? Right?
Yeah.
I think, though, with that said, Milana, do you have any final words?
Play Splatoon and don't get angry when the latency bites you in the butt.
That is fair. That's fair. Any wise words on shooters?
If you can't beat them, join them.
There you go. Well,
that's it.
Those are life lessons right there. Not just applicable to Splatoon, but life lessons. That is going to do it for us here in the commentary booth. Of course, a great pleasure to be brought on in here by IPL Splatoon. And of course, we hope that you at home enjoyed the matches that we got to see here tonight. Very quality players coming out, which is something we love to see. So support your quality players, but of course, support your local TOs as well. And you
support
can do
IPL, play Low Ink.
Thank you, Mel. When is that happening, Mel?
This weekend, June 18th to June 19th, 1 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. BST. What's BST?
That is something. It's British Standard Time?
Oh, British Standard Time.
I took a guess on that.
Oh, Summer Standard. Summer should be the standard.
Yeah, it should be.
I'm talking to the voice on high. They can't hear you, but I'm talking to you anyway. It's like I'm talking to myself.
They also, the voice on high knows that they can't be heard. So I like that you're telling them that too. Low Ink June 2022 is happening this weekend. If you qualify, some of you may be too good, you may be bad. That's understandable, but we do hope that you'll come on through to view the wonderful plays that will be shown off throughout this upcoming weekend. We hope to see you then. But for myself, I am the Baron.
Play on my behalf. I'm not allowed to play. Barry's not allowed to play either. Play on our behalf.
Allegedly, we're not allowed to play.
Allegedly? Oh no. I feel like we're gonna call some higher powers in here.
With that said, we're gonna sign off here, but thank you so much for tuning on in to IPL Splatoon's Swim or Sync 72. For myself, for Milana, thank you very much for coming through and watching. We hope you enjoyed the action, and of course, thank you to IPL for putting this all on. We do love to see it. We hope you have a great night, and until next time, do take care.
Bye!